From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Well, you knew it wasn't going to be easy. You knew it wasn't going to be easy. I'm going to just full disclosure with you guys. Last night, and it wasn't even, it was before they had even gotten 10 or 12. It was after the third inning. I texted you and Curtis, and I said, I hate it here. And then I said something about, like, you know, you can't punt on this game. It's a playoff game. Like, if Kirby's doing this, you have to take him out. You have to spring on this. And Kirby did not come out, was sent back out for the start of the fourth, continued very much to struggle. But that's where I wanted to start our open today. Obviously, we're going to look ahead to Game 4. Mariners still very much in this. Obviously, you're up 2-1 in the series. You're at home. You need 2 more games. That's it. 2 more wins, and you're in a World Series. And you got 2 more games at home, so that's pretty massive. That being said, I wanted to talk about a couple things before we do look ahead. And one of them is about whether or not it was a mistake not to pull Kirby. Dan had, or the staff as a whole, had a decision to make in the third when Kirby clearly did not have it. He wasn't locating pitches, falling apart, giving up hit after hit after hit, 5 hits, 5 runs. Should Dan have pulled him?
No. You leave him in. You leave him in because it's about the war, not the battle. You lost the battle, okay? You've won 2 battles. All right, you're 2-0, you're coming home, but it's about the war. You want to win the war. And at this point, you have to preserve your bullpen as much as you can. You have to realize you have 3 games at home. You win 2 of these things. You're good to go. No, I was completely fine with him leaving Kirby. And as much as it hurt to watch my son struggle against a 6'6" forward, he's a point guard, and just get bodied into the paint and dunked on, I say, you know what, son, you're going to learn from this. You know what, son, this is going to make you stronger. So, no, I was okay with Dan leaving him in. I think that's what you had to do because you can get caught up in the moment, in the battle, but understand that it's about the war. So, no, I was fine with it. As much as it hurt. It hurt to watch my man go down like that, but it hurt. Okay,
what about the idea that in the postseason you win the war by treating every game like the war? Because that is a philosophy that not everyone subscribes to. In fact, I think of late there's been more criticism about managers maybe even pulling starters too early and having too short a leash. I don't even know that I fully agree with it. I'm still figuring out how I watch and critique postseason baseball, to be completely honest with you guys. I'm still trying to figure out, like, what is philosophically the best approach here. So there is a little bit of pushback. But I would say overall the idea is that great managers are made in these moments, and that I wonder if it's frowned upon. I'm not saying Dan punted initially, but eventually it was clear.
Yeah,
when you put out Vargas and then Ferguson, you at no point are trying to get back. It was clear the Mariners saw that as a lost game, but when did they see it as a lost game?
I think you get into the 5th, and it's like, all right, it's a wrap. It's over. But I think that it's you got to play. I know you're a checkers player, right?
I love checkers.
Just diagonal,
yeah.
boom.
I know how to play chess before anyone wants to make fun.
But it's chess. It's all right. I'm trying to get 2 or 3 moves ahead of my opponent, and even if in chess, there are times where I know I'm done, but I'm gonna ride this thing out as long as I can. I'm gonna take down as many of your pawns and your pieces that I can before this whole thing is over. And I think that's what Dan did last night, and I'm completely fine with it. Listen, we knew that Toronto was a good ball club. They put up 30-something runs against the New York Yankees. All right, we knew that this was going to happen. So when it started to happen, I was like, there it is. Vladdy Dottie, we likes to potty, 4 for 4. Like, we knew he wasn't going to go over for the whole series. So, yeah, this is playoff ball. This is playoff baseball. And I know people hate when I talk about my Dodgers and my Lakers. I just have experience in this. And I know that you play a 7-game series, it's rare that you sweep. Yeah. It's so rare that you sweep. And I've experienced it myself. So, no, it hurt to watch. You're watching your team slowly drown, but you realize that you still have the lead. You have 2 more games at home, and you're in the driver's seat.
All right, well, let's go to cut 3. Here's what George Kirby had to say after his loss.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely came out the way I wanted to.
Yeah, I kind of just I wasn't really executing when they got the guys on base, and they were really aggressive when that happened. So, they made some good swings. I wasn't really making a lot of good pitches there in the third and the fourth, but yeah.
This was pitched, no pun intended, as a very interesting battle heading into Game 3. John Schneider had been very open about Toronto wanting to be more aggressive. They're a team that doesn't strike out a ton, so they're really, really going to clearly attack the zone, but they've also been very effective there. And we know that Kirby likes to attack the zone and stay in there, and so it was either, hey, maybe Kirby deals, and this game gets out of hand for them early, and I wondered if that might be the case after a first inning that felt great, or they jump all over Kirby, because if he's not perfect, he's kind of like primed to be a bad matchup there. And that ended up being what happened. I think that there's two ways to look at it. One, you look at the third inning and you go, look, I'm not saying you have the best offense in baseball, but you had an offense that was third in home runs.
Exactly.
You have an offense that has made it to the ALCS. You have an offense that's good, a good lineup. 3 runs, 4 runs is not too much hypothetically to overcome. And if that game is managed a little more aggressively, maybe that's a signal also sent to your batters. Maybe some of those approaches are differently. Or maybe Shane Bieber ends up doing exactly what he did, which is just like cruising through the rest of the game. Maybe your bats end up doing what they did, which is just not showing up, which brings us to our next conversation here. Is the bigger issue then the offense at T-Mobile? And I don't mean for just overall. We know that offense can be suppressed. I mean what we've seen from the Mariners offense at T-Mobile.
It could. Here's the thing with that, man. It's tough. I separate like the postseason with the regular season, and you know that 3-4 runs is probably not going to be enough in most situations. We know that typically at home the numbers haven't been great when it comes to producing runs. So I look at this situation, I try to separate what we're seeing now from the regular season. I think that you get into the third inning, they put up a 5 spot, and even though they put up a 5 spot, you're down 3 runs, I'm still thinking they're in this game.
I am too.
I'm
That's
like, all
manageable.
right, get a couple on base,
Yep.
we hit bombs,
Yep.
you'll be fine. The fourth inning, they put up another run. I'm still thinking you put a couple on base,
Same.
hit a bomb, you'll be fine. Now the 6 is like, all right, well, this is probably
There was
over
a
now.
certain point where you just go, this team is on fire.
Yeah.
Like the Toronto
It's their
offense,
day.
which has been number 1 in the regular season in hits, number 1 in the regular season in average.
it's
They were
their
not
day.
pulling off.
Like we can't. Now we would love a sweep. We wanted to go up 3-0. I get that, understand that. We can look at the numbers at home and say they don't produce a significant amount of runs. I was okay with Kirby being on the mound because he's better at home.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing about the decision making that makes me think, oh, Dan blew this game. What's going on? It's no, you go up against an opponent that is just better than you that day. And on that day yesterday, the Toronto Blue Jays look like the Blue Jays that we saw against the Yankees and that we saw throughout the regular season.
Sure did.
So it's I know I don't just, there's no moral victories. I don't well, there's no moral victory. You get whooped. I don't just sit here and say concede, take it on the chin. But every now and then in a 7-game series, you tip your cap and say you got that one.
Yeah, you're going to take a punch.
Yeah, I've watched 5 Lakers championships that I can remember. And I can say they never swept anybody in the NBA Finals. It's 7 games. This is going to happen. So I'm more concerned about the response. But, yes, Kirby was not good. The first inning was great. The first inning fools you. The first inning, I go, oh, yeah, our boys are ready.
Yeah.
Julio hits a bomb. Second game in a row in the first inning, he's good. Vibes are great. And then the Blue Jays reminded everybody that they are a worthy playoff team.
206 says the offense was so good at Rogers Center. Let's talk about the Mariners offense on the road versus at home. It's not weird at all that offense overall for almost any team, including the home team, is suppressed at T-Mobile Park. It is the most pitcher-friendly park in baseball. We all know that. I'm not going to spend more time on it. What I will say is it has been especially noticeable in this series. Credit Curtis for pointing this out earlier. J.P. Crawford, it's easy. They have 4 road games, 4 home games, so these splits are a little easy. J.P. Crawford on the road, slashing, 308, 313, 538, 851 OPS with a single strikeout. J.P. Crawford at home, 188 average, 376 OPS, 5 strikeouts.
This is postseason.
Postseason. 4 road games, 4 home games. Gino Suarez, at home, 0.56 average, 112 OPS. He's 1 for 18 with 8 strikeouts. Gino Suarez on the road, 267 average, 886 OPS, a double, a home run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
There's
Robles, his stats are a little less pronounced. Gino's are by far the most pronounced. A little less pronounced, but there's still a difference. Every single one of them, Crawford, Suarez, Robles. I'll throw in Canzone, though I didn't look up his splits. So I'll say then Crawford, Suarez, Robles have all struck out more on the road and have worse averages, worse OPS, worse everything on, at home. Struck out more at home and have been worse at home. A factor here. Tarek Skubal is someone that you faced twice at home. So for those 4 home games, Skubal has been part of 2. Okay. Best pitcher in the American League is who you're facing in 2 of those games. I will add that very important note. But do those splits concern you?
No.
Why?
They don't.
Why? They concern me.
Because they have the best home record after the All-Star break. Like, clearly they can perform at home. If we're going to narrow it down to 4 games, is what we're doing right here?
4 at home, 4 on the road.
So 8 total. We're narrowed down to 8 games. The splits are – so those 8 games I treat like the first 4 weeks in football. So where it's like, yeah, okay. I take them for what it is, but I don't really know who they are until we get deeper into the season. Because we're narrowed down to 8 games, all right, they've shown that they can play at home. They've shown that they can win at home. They're the winningest team after the All-Star break at home. So, no, I don't ignore the stats. I don't ignore the splits. But I also don't say, this is who they are, because it's 8 games.
You've never scored more than 4 runs at home in the postseason, this postseason.
Well, how many times have they been in the postseason?
Well, I guess I'll limit it to this postseason.
Yeah, I get it. Look, it's a real thing. My numbers don't lie. But I'm also going to tap into this is their home, and they've been successful here. So I'm not going to let 4 games at home kind of make me shape my perspective when it comes to who they are.
Yeah, I think it's fair. Let's see. A lot of people saying baseball's a fun-loving game. You have your ups and downs. We beat them twice. Oh, I don't think that, guys, statistically, they're more likely than not to advance to a World Series. Sweeps are also incredibly rare. There have been just 4 in the American League Championship Series since 2006. There have been just 4 in the NLCS since 1995. So that's clearly not something that happens, right?
Yeah.
It was, even though teams that go up 2-0 in an ALCS have over 80% of the time gone on to the World Series, a fraction of those teams have swept. The Mariners are falling right into that standard so far.
You know what this is, Stace? We're just not used to this.
I'm not used to this.
We're not used to it. I mean, me neither. I'm obviously I go to the Dodgers or whatnot, but the Mariners, we're just not used to this as fans.
Right, so you don't know how they're going to respond.
Analysts, so it's like, we have to take everything that we're seeing and we have to break it down. We have to analyze it. But then I think it's important to do what you're doing, which is look at, all right, typically what happens in these situations. When you've never been in a situation, like I call my mom when I've never been in something before. I'll call my dad. I'll talk to my grandma, maybe an older homie, and be like, all right, what would you do here? Like, what's going on here? Someone that you can confide in. And I think that because the Mariners have never – they've been this before, but like in the last 20, 30 years haven't been here, right? Because we've never been here, we are going to react passionately, which is fine, which is why the term is fan, because you're a fanatic and this is what we do. So it's a weird place to be, because you realize that your team is good enough to beat the Blue Jays, because we've seen them do that. You realize that at home during the postseason they haven't put up a lot of runs, and you're frantic. We're frantic. We're looking like, all right, what's the answer? What's it going to be? But thankfully there's a game today, and we get to try to figure this thing out. But that's the beauty of sports, man, is that you get to react, and you get to feel, and you get to analyze this thing.
I'm really curious to watch tonight's game. I like the matchup with Luis Castillo. And honestly, I know that we're leaving a game in which George Kirby gave up 8 runs on 8 hits, but the Mariners pitching overall, I think, has been second only to the Dodgers in the postseason so far. They've been spectacular.
Far second, too.
Yeah, the Dodgers have been just unfair. But the Mariners have been great. They've been a really complete team and have played some really complete games. And I do not want to take that away from them. I do not want to take away the one-game advantage they have right now over Toronto, which is really massive. They have to win 3 in a row, or they have to win 3 here. You only have to win 2.
Yep.
Toronto would rather be you today.
Yep.
But I would love to. I need to see a little bit more.
Did Humpy win last night?
Oh, you know what? I'm so glad you asked, Bump. I'm so glad you asked. We're going to get to that in headline rewrites with our second. Let's get to headline rewrites right now.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Dodgers take on the Brewers in Game 3 of the NLCS tonight. They hold a 2-0 series lead. What's the real headline?
You know inflation is crazy when the price of brooms has gone up to $400 million.
Oh, staticky. Yeah, this is
It looks like a series in which the Dodgers are going to sweep. I know I just said that sweeps don't happen often.
But the dominance that the Dodgers have shown makes you think they're going to sweep. Here's the thing, though. I think the Brewers still have a chance. I mean, they're still they're the best record in baseball. Am I wrong?
The Dodgers to end the season?
No, the Brewers.
Yeah, Brewers,
the Brewers?
won 97.
Yeah.
Best record in baseball. Well, one of the longest winning streaks in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go to sleep on these guys. The Dodgers put together 2 of the greatest starts we've seen in playoff history in baseball.
Crazy.
It's not likely they do that again. So just like the same way that we looked at Toronto and we say we're up 2-0, you have to remember who the Brewers are, and they're due. They're capable of putting something together. So we shall see. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers sweep or win this one tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Brewers do what they do and play some solid baseball.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Humpy the Salmon won his second consecutive salmon run on Wednesday night after snapping a 165 race losing streak. What's the real headline?
I warned all of you.
You did.
Yesterday.
You did.
When me and you and Yahoo Sports, Jordan Susterman, friend of the show, were all together for a great little roundtable ahead of Game 3. I asked Jordan, whose colleague and co-host Jake Mintz wrote this really awesome column, and it's a fantastic read for Yahoo Sports about what went into the decision to run the salmon race again and why they decided to put Humpy out there and kind of like the really cool pop culture moment it became. Amazing. But I said, guys, I don't know if Humpy should win again. In fact, I think that you take away from the magic, and what it should be is Humpy saying, you guys have got this. You don't need me anymore. If Humpy keeps winning, not only does it look bad if Humpy wins and then the Mariners lose, because then the magic is kind of gone, but like, then winning isn't special and rare. The whole point is Humpy had never won, and now he has one win, and it happened in like one of the coolest moments.
Okay.
Leave it at that.
All right.
You either retire Humpy, or Humpy just goes back to not winning. And I warned you all. No one listened to me. I said, Humpy can't win. Humpy can't win again. That's fine. I have a ton of love for Humpy,
Craig,
but he can
you're right,
not
Craig.
win.
Craig, you was right. You was right,
And
Craig.
look at you. No one listened to me.
No one listened. If Humpy just lost, then the Mariners would have won that ball game. And I'm a firm believer in superstitions, in routine, and philosophy, all that good stuff. So, yes, Humpy, we need you to lose for the duration of the playoffs.
Yeah, someone said Stacy should be consulted on all salmon races. Thank you. No, I actually think that the Mariners, their marketing and their in-game like event staff and everything, they're spectacular. I think among the best in baseball. I love that they had that moment. You got to let magic be magic. And sometimes things are only magical.
It's predetermined.
When they're special.
What?
Magic is...
Predetermined? No.
Humpy
That race
worked
is
for that
predetermined.
win. No, Humpy
That's
swam
not
his
magic.
best race.
You had me?
He swam his best race.
You had me until you started talking about magic. Let the magic happen.
It was magic.
It's predetermined.
Did they
Oh,
win
wow.
because they
Predetermined,
won,
okay.
or did they win because
He dug
Humpy
deep.
let them believe in themselves, and Humpy let them believe they could be bigger
Both
than
of y'all
themselves?
are crazy. You had me. You had me. And then you started talking
Yeah,
about magic.
in the first half. But I'm just saying, what I'm saying is the specialness of Humpy getting this done does not continue to be special if Humpy keeps winning. Humpy isn't a baller. He's not. He's not. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Humpy is Ben Williamson.
I need you to listen to me. If if Rudy came out and was suddenly a great
You never
player,
even watched Rudy.
But I know that Rudy isn't good at football.
You can't reference that.
But
you
I
never
know Rudy's
watched
not
it.
good at football, and the point I'm making is if Rudy was suddenly fantastic and then all of a sudden became a starter and then all of a sudden he was so great, the movie isn't cool anymore.
Hey, side note, Curtis, how crazy is it that Rudy in the movie is like a 5'9" DN?
That's like middle school ball. That's
Right,
like high
for
school
Notre
ball.
Dame.
Yes. And then imagine that Rudy suddenly becomes their best player, gets drafted first overall to go play for the Steelers or whoever, and becomes a defensive rookie of the. It's not a cool story anymore. It's like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that it elevated to this way. But the whole point is that Rudy had one cool moment, I think. So I hear.
That's what they tell me.
So they tell me. I've still never seen it. I'm sorry. Okay, what's next?
Headline rewrites.
Stacy is the authority on all things aquatic. Why don't we let the swimmer of the show just point? Let me be the
Let the swimmer analyze fish racing on land.
water-related content falls into my aquatic-related content
Aquatic
falls
insider.
into my
Stacy Ross.
yeah.
They're on the warning track.
Yeah, but they're aquatic animals.
Headline 3.
They're holding their breath the whole time.
It's the battle of the olds on Thursday Night Football. 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers facing off against 40-year-old Joe Flacco and the Bengals. What's the real headline?
Neither quarterback is happy about leaving the house after 8 p.m.
I'm a man. I'm 40. That should be the headline of this game. I'm a man. I'm 40. I can't believe that I'm going to be 40 this year and that I can relate to Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers.
Because this is how, are they, like every sack they take, are you going to feel that in your bones?
Yeah, it's almost like
I'm 40.
That's you.
every time they get hit. One more time, please.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Every time they get sacked.
That's what you're going to think.
That's what I'm going to think. That's what I'm going to say, man. You know, I feel like I'm going to watch this game the way my mom watched me play football. She said every time I got tackled, like she cringed a bit. Like she thought I was going to get hurt. She was waiting for me to get up.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm going to watch this game.
Well, I'm not going to be watching much of this game because we're going to have another game here in Seattle that we'll be paying much closer attention to. But I just think it's kind of cool that both of them are over 40 or 40. I do think that's pretty cool. I think it does make for a maybe not stellar game. Although the Steelers, they're cooking.
Yeah. 4-1.
Yeah.
Low key 4-1. No one's talking about them.
No, because I think people think that A, the AFC North is surprisingly very bad, and B, I don't think that they purely buy into Aaron Rodgers for a full season yet. I think there are questions about, okay, is this the version of Aaron that we're going to see all year long? Because that age is a factor.
No, that's fair. Honestly, when you are a man and you're 40, you question the longevity of this whole situation. So no, it makes sense. But respect it. Top of the AFC North. I mean, the Bengals are in second place at 2-4.
It's crazy. A massive game for tonight. Let's find out how the Blue Jays are feeling. Sportsnet Blue Jays reporter Ben Nicholson-Smith joins us next on your home for the Mariners in the American League Championship Series. Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Well, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within one win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
Caffeine doesn't have to be bitter or boring anymore. 5-Hour Energy Shots are bringing the flavor and energy. One of my personal favorites, Strawberry Banana. It's giving smoothie vibes in a compact caffeinated shot. Whether you like your energy sour, fruity, or tropical, with 17 flavors, there's something for everyone. And yeah, it's got as much caffeine as a 12-ounce cup of coffee, but with zero sugar and no crash. Big flavor, tiny bottle, tasty caffeine done right. You can grab yours in-store or hit up 5hourenergy.com or order on Amazon today.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
The LJ way is.
You look at stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to come into an industry and work on a place that is going to compromise how I feel about myself. I get to go to work every day with good people, and I get to enjoy what I do because I'm out there just trying to do right by people I care about, which is our community. We're going to see them at the grocery store. I'm going to see them at the sports tournaments. 2 friends of our daughters came in last night just on the lot, didn't know I was there. And it was cool because you got to take them through, and they're going to buy a car for their first driver and a car for their kid going to school soon. These are the people that you're going to work with. And so you better make sure that your laundry's clean. I don't think Lee Johnson specifically, right, Speedway Chevrolet, where I'm at, I don't think they've ever had a problem with the community of being able to stand up and look them in the eye and know that they did their job well.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
It's always such a pleasure for me to catch up with you, Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And as I understand it, calendar year is wrapping up. There's never a better time to take care of your aches and pains. Why?
Well, it's always a great time to come see us here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. We'll take care of your aches and pains. We'll get you better. But particularly, Brock, at the end of the year, most people have met their deductibles. They may have HSA, may have FSA funds. So use the opportunity to use your insurance to treat those aches and pains so you're not taking them into the new year. So you're healthy, fit, and you're excited about the new year. That's what it's all about. Here at IRG, we are so dedicated to making sure our patients really understand the insurance because it's a complex world. So when you call us, we're going to help you navigate your insurance. But I will tell everybody listening right now, if you've met your deductible, get your aches and pains treated here at IRG. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of your insurance. We'll take care of your family. We'll take care of everybody.
Clinics up and down the Puget Sound for you to go visit or see them online at irgpt.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hawks Live is back, and you can join Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer tonight, starting at 7 p.m. at Bellevue Square Center Court for a live broadcast and preview of Monday night's game against the Texans, and a visit from Seahawks safety Ty Okada. Plus, a chance to win a pair of tickets to Monday's game. Oh my God, that's such an event. And it's free. I feel like I always need to stress that to people because I get that question a lot on the text line, like how much is it, or when do I need to show up? It's just a free event that's there.
It's free.
Yeah.
I get paid, though.
You get
paid. I get paid, but it's free.
But like a scene setting, it's like this casual fun environment.
It's casual as heck. Me and Paul Moyer just shoot the you-know-what, and we give away gift cards. Sometimes there's tickets to the game. So, no, it's a good event.
Yeah, and it's low-key. You can grab dinner while you're out there, go shopping, and then pop in. So that's tonight. 7 p.m., Bellevue Square Center Court. You can learn more at seattlesports.com/events. Again, a chance to win a pair of tickets to Monday Night Football. Plus, you'll be able to see a live interview in person with Seahawks safety Ty Okada, who's like the nicest person. We've had him on the Huddle before.
Okada's solid.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the Huddle today, obviously. From noon to 2, we'll be getting you ready for this Monday Night Football game. Well, before we get to Monday Night Football, we have Thursday Night Baseball, that being the Mariners in Game 4. What do you think that last night's win did? Like, Bump, if you were to put yourself in a Blue Jays clubhouse, right? What do you think that does for that club?
For them, it just reminds them who they are. Like, come on now. We dropped 2 at home. That wasn't likely, but we're ready to go. If you are the Mariners, it's what's that song? Wake up, grab a little makeup. That's what it is. Wake up. Like you realize this thing isn't over. And we talked about Mitch Garver having maybe a conversation with the squad and telling them like, look, I've been in this situation. We almost tricked it off. So no, it's a reminder for both teams. Honestly, it's that notification that you get. It's the alarm in the morning. To get your butt up and realize the situation that you're in.
All right, let's bring on now Sportsnet Blue Jays reporter Ben Nicholson-Smith on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Well, Ben, I'll start by asking you the same question that I just asked my co-host, which is how the Blue Jays are probably feeling right now.
Well, I think they feel like they have work to do because they still do have a lot of work to do. There's no question about that. But things are trending a little better for the Blue Jays after last night. I think that they finally were able to get the offensive side of things going after struggling so much in the first 2 games. So to hit 5 home runs, obviously a massive step for them. But ultimately, they're still at a disadvantage here. They're still at a big disadvantage, and they still have a lot of work to do. So I don't think that's lost on the group that the Mariners are in the driver's seat. The Mariners are the ones who are in by far the better position here with a couple more games at home and, of course, a 2-1 lead. But I think there's a feeling that the Jays at least have reason to hope now in a way that they certainly wouldn't have if they were down 3-0.
How important was it that Vladimir, I call him Vladdy Dottie, had the night that he had? I mean, it was inevitable. I mean, him going 0 for the first 2 games, we knew that wasn't going to last. But I would assume that seeing your leader go out there and have a big day kind of, spark these guys.
I think that's right. I mean, Vlad Jr. has had a great playoffs with 4 home runs now, and this is the kind of performance that the Blue Jays need from him because Bo Bichette is still injured on the sidelines, so they need Vlad Jr. to take his game to another level, which he certainly has. I mean, to have a batting average approaching 500 for the playoffs, to have an OPS approaching 1,500 for the playoffs, this is why the Blue Jays were so excited about this era of having Vlad Jr. and Bo Bichette. And it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago that they had even won a single game with Vlad Jr. and Bo Bichette, let alone a series, let alone to play deep into the playoffs and come up against a really good Mariners team in the ALCS. So this is why the Blue Jays extended Vlad Jr. This is why they were so excited to have him in the organization in the first place. And he's really proving that he's built for these stages and that he can deliver against some of the best pitching in baseball when the stakes are the highest.
Max Scherzer on the hill tonight. Tell us a bit, not just about his season, but about what kind of outing you can expect.
Yeah, I would personally expect intensity from Max Scherzer. I mean, that's the trademark for him throughout his career, and that continues to be the case for him even at 41 years old. He is not as dominant when it comes to missing bats as he once was, obviously. This is not the version of Max Scherzer who won 3 Cy Young Awards. But he'll still bring that intensity. He'll still dial it up to 95 miles an hour. And he knows how to pitch. I mean, it's a cliche, but it's true when it comes to avoiding the middle of the zone, when it comes to mixing and matching and sequencing and bringing a scouting report to the mound and finding those little things that veteran pitchers can do to gain an advantage. But I'm not expecting a 7-inning start. I won't be surprised if he's out of the game in the 3rd inning today. I mean, the Blue Jays need to manage this game with a sense of urgency. So if Scherzer starts to struggle at all, they have to be prepared to go to the bullpen. And based on how they've managed so far in this postseason, I would fully expect that there's a willingness on their part to go to the bullpen early. And if Scherzer, allows a couple of base hits, or he's walking guys, or the velo is down, there is no reason to leave him out there. So I think the leash will be short, and I think the intensity will be high.
What's your biggest concern when you look at the Mariners and the problems they present?
My biggest concern when it comes to the Mariners and what? Remind me?
The problems. Like what's your biggest concern when you look at this matchup?
Yeah, against Scherzer, I mean, I think it's simply the power. I mean, I think that realistically, I've said this many times, but Cal Raleigh is not just like a 25 or 30 home run hitter. As you guys know, he literally hits 60 home runs. Like, this is not an ordinary mismatch. This guy has incredible power. There's no good matchup against him, as you and all the Mariners fans saw all season. So, that's the situation where what do? I mean, I guess you pitch around him, but then you have men on base now for the middle of the Mariners order. I mean, that's not good. No one likes that. So it also puts pressure to get a Rosarena out, because if you walk a Rosarena, all of a sudden you're in trouble from the second batter of the game. So I just think it's the power. The Mariners are a really good offensive team, but with the way Polanco's swinging it right now, we all know what Naylor can do. We all know what Eugenio Suarez can do. I mean, it is a deep lineup. I don't have to tell you guys that. So to me, when you look at Scherzer and his home run issues that he had this year, and pair that with the Mariners lineup that hits the ball out of the park, and clearly, based on last night, the ball's flying. So, I mean, that's the concern if you're the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays have been one of the best offenses, not just obviously through the ALDS where they were leading in slugging, but in the regular season, leading in runs and hits and average. I think it's why so many people, and I'm sure that included you, Ben, it surely included us, were so surprised by how kind of suppressed they seemed in the first 2 games. Is there ever a common thread when that offense does just completely shut down that you can recognize?
Yeah, I think that we haven't seen it much this season. The Blue Jays have been a pretty consistent offense. It's a great question. I think that realistically, this is a group that does put the bat on the ball. So the common thread, if there is one, it's probably just hitting it right at fielders. And they did a bit of that in game 1, where some of them went straight to Julio in center field. And it's just kind of like, well, that's going to be the way it goes. And you're going to have those games in the regular season. You're going to have those games in the postseason. It's frustrating, of course, to be an offense that is hitting balls at guys. And so I think that's probably the common thread. I mean, this isn't an offense that's going to strike out 13, 14 times per game like the Angels might. They're probably going to put the bat on the ball. So I think that tonight, if the Mariners fielders are, backing up Castillo and finding ways to just support him, then that would be the recipe for making sure that the Blue Jays don't score a lot.
All right, he is Sportsnet Blue Jays reporter Ben Nicholson-Smith with a very busy day today. So, Ben, we will let you go. Thank you so much for taking the time, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
My pleasure. Thank you both.
Have a good one. Okay, so we are, obviously staying very baseball heavy for the first part of the show, and then we're going to kind of flip the script at noon with the Huddle. Dave Wyman going to join us. We're going to talk to Jarran Reed. We are going to talk to Brady Russell, and we're going to get you guys ready for Monday Night Football, a late one, by the way. So from noon to 2, all Seahawks. Until then, we are basically wall-to-wall Mariners, and that continues next with Hype Train.
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks safety Ty Okada.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live, tonight from 7 to 9 p.m., exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Things are getting spooky around here. It's Bump here, and fall is my favorite time of the year. Obviously, you got football, you got the baseball playoffs, you have fall golf. The leaves are turning, and seeing all types of kids and adults dressed up in funny costumes. What's not to love? This year, I want to start a new tradition. Make the easy drive up north on I-5 to Silver Reef Casino Resort. They have everything you need. Deluxe rooms where you can actually feel spread out and feel relaxed and comfortable. I can head downstairs and watch games on their big screens at the sports book while grabbing a bite. Then head outside for a tea time at Loomis Trails Golf Course. They have races you can't beat for a course this nice. There's water, there's trees. Get loose back into the forest where for a couple holes you feel like you're the only group out there. While I'm golfing, the missus can check out the spa. We'll meet back up for a delicious dinner at either the steakhouse or the cantina. It sounds like a great trip. You should do it. It's off I-5 exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
This Breast Cancer Awareness Month, choose care that puts you first. At Snoqualmie Valley Health, you won't wait weeks for a mammogram. Appointments are available now, just 30 minutes east of Seattle. Experience the difference with advanced 3D mammography and our new Breast Health Suite, designed for accuracy, comfort, and peace of mind. If you're 40 and older, yearly screenings are recommended, and no referral is needed if you haven't had a mammogram in the past year. Don't wait. Detect early. Schedule today at SnoqualmieValleyHealth.org.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Open enrollment for Medicare is underway. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man here. Get organized now with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
Don't miss the Daniel Jeremiah Show, presented by Marquee Data.
I think he's been awesome.
Tuesday mornings at 8:30 with Brock and Salk.
If this is where he is right now, he could win an MVP.
Only on Seattle Sports. Home of your American League West Division champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's Mike Salk here. You can book now for an unforgettable experience. Let's talk about Hawks Peak. It is the place to be for game days this football season. With over 66 TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, the deck is covered and it's heated as well. And the food, oh man, it was excellent. All with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Yep, you can go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF Construction. You know, it was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with two words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those two words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend, and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Watch high school football live Saturday night for Seattle Sports Game of the Week presented by STSPN. The North Creek Jaguars host the Liberty Patriots live from Pop Keeney Stadium in Bothell.
In Cristo Bruce, Liberty, let's go.
Watch the game live Saturday, 7 p.m. exclusively on the Seattle Sports app, seattlesports.com, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page. For full 2025 matchups, visit seattlesports.com/high school. Let's head to the station for Hype Train. I don't know that anyone's going to disagree with me that Jorge Polanco has been the postseason MVP for the Mariners so far. Just so many clutch hits, clutch RBIs. However, this is your Hype Train. Julio will continue to mount his case tonight. Now, I'm not saying what Julio's going to do. What I'm saying is we will be talking about Julio mounting his postseason MVP case tonight.
First 2 games against Detroit, he balled out. First 2 games against Toronto, he's balled out. No disrespect, but I call him Julio. That's affectionate. It's affectionate. I know that the J makes the Y sound in the Spanish language. I get that. But affectionately, I call him Julio. And, yes, I think he has to. For this team to go to the places we want them to go, he has to do that. He will do that. The Mariners get it done 5-3 today.
Okay.
5-3.
Wow. First time getting more than 4 runs at home for the Mariners. Jorge has been the postseason MVP so far, but Julio will continue to mount his case tonight. Kind of a creative Hype Train here. Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you?
We're going to stretch our minds for this one. I think he does. I think, yes, we're boarding this train. Julio Rodriguez, I don't know if he goes yard again, but I think he will have maybe an RBI double. Something big in this one. He seems to be rising to the occasion, which is a great sight for a lot of Mariners fans, especially all you are like, Julio, he's so overrated. Get him off my team, man. Come on now. Julio's one of the best in the game. Get off my lawn with that. Get out of my life with that. Julio Rodriguez is a baller, and glad to have him on the Mariners side.
Julio against Max Scherzer is 2 for 5 with a home run and only 1 strikeout, hitting 400 against Max Scherzer. I feel pretty good about it, but I'm not boarding this one. You know why? Because Jorge continues to make his postseason MVP case tonight. I'm calling a home run from Jorge Polanco. Next up, the ALCS does not go back to Toronto for Game 6.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh, wow.
I would love, what's today, Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Talks Live Day.
Mm-hmm.
Huddle Day.
Mm-hmm.
Long day.
Yeah.
They're going to get it done today. And then, Curtis, what time would the game be on Friday? Do we know yet?
3:08.
3:08. So I would be able to watch an hour of the game before I hop on the plane.
Uh-huh.
So I would have to listen to the radio.
And trust and believe.
And you know what? Nothing like a win from 30,000 feet up.
There you go.
So, yeah, it ain't going back.
Train.
I'm on the train. It ain't going back. Get her done at T-Mobile. Let's go.
The ALCS does not go back to Toronto for Game 6. Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you?
Throw the passports away. We're not going back to Toronto. Get rid of them. You don't need them anymore.
Hey, honestly, we shouldn't need a passport to go to Canada.
You know what I'm saying?
You didn't need to up until probably like 15, 20 years ago.
Really?
It should just be going up being like, you know me.
Right.
I know you.
It's me.
It's us.
Yeah.
You know what? When I played in the CFL, I was still living in Redmond. So after the games, I would jet back across the border. At some point, they knew who I was and just let me through every time. I didn't even have to show my passport. Like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, he's fine. He's good. He's with us. Curtis, you said throw the passports away, so you're boarding this one.
Oh yeah, we're boarding. It's over after 5. That's what I don't have any reason for it. It's over after 5.
I'm not boarding, but I think the Mariners get it done.
You think it's going
in Game
back
6.
to?
I think they get it done in Game 6. I sure do. I think this goes to 6. It goes to Toronto, and the Mariners get it done on the road because Gino Suarez, who has a 267 average with a double, a home run, and 2 walks on the road, 886 OPS.
Ooh.
It's a go-ahead home run.
Okay.
Stat
that.
Stat that. Next up. Okay, I got one more baseball one here, and then I did sneak in a Monday Night Football one. Brian Wu, said to be your Game 5 starter, goes at least 5 innings on Friday.
Woo. We need that swag. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. They showed a presser of his, and he's talking about just getting back and feeling good. And there's what the kids call an aura about him.
Yeah.
And he's got it. And I think that he's going to show up. He's going to ball out. He's going to give you a QS.
A quality start.
Quality start.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, more than 5.
Let's go.
Okay. Brian Wu goes at least 5 innings on Friday. Now, that would require a very efficient start since he'll be on a pitch count, I'm sure. But Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you?
I'm going to board as well. I think he's back with a vengeance on Friday. And, I mean, if it goes to Stacy's plan, that's going to be a game where they absolutely need him to go 5 innings and give him a strong start. Because
if it goes to my plan, you guys are in trouble for burning your passports.
They know me at the border. We're fine.
Yeah, Bump's fine.
I know. You guys are trying to sit here like burning a
through.
jersey, and all of a sudden you're going to be like, dang it, now I have to reach out to customs.
But yeah, I think Brian Wu goes at least 5 on Friday. I don't think he's going to go like 7 or 8, but give me 5, send it over to the bullpen, and hopefully it's on the way to clinching a series.
Ian, let's get everyone aboard that train. I'm boarding this one as well. Brian Wu goes at least 5 innings on Friday. I know that there is some fear about Brian Wu coming back. Just, what does it mean to shake off the rust? Is he going to be okay? Is he 100% healthy? But God, was he good this year. And I think it happens. I think there's a little more magic left in the postseason. Next and last one, let's go quickly here. I'll just have you two go. 7 p.m. is entirely too late for Monday Night Football game.
Way too late. Why are we doing this? Especially when I have to do a 2.5-hour post-game show. I won't be in my bed until 2 a.m. Way too late. Selfishly.
Okay. Bump says absolutely too late. I had errands to run, and then it was my bedtime. I'm watching my TV shows. 7 p.m. is entirely too late for Monday Night Football, Curtis.
Yeah, we're boarding. We're absolutely boarding that train.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it was on yesterday's show. I was doing the dishes, last night or something at like 9:30 p.m. and I was thinking, man, on Monday night we're going to be at maybe halftime, maybe start of the third quarter. At this point,
much.
Yawning. I can't do that. I'm washed.
An unspoken rule, like once the jeans come off, you're not leaving your house. You know what I mean?
I might run to Freddy's real quick to grab something.
I'm not putting jeans on to do it.
Nah.
And 7 p.m., 8 p.m., jeans are usually off, man. I think you're weird if you're walking around your house in jeans and shoes at 7 p.m.
I agree.
I unfortunately have to ticket you for
I'm
that
in
one.
some old shorts from a team I used to coach.
Yeah. Oh, I get changed into sweats at, what time is our show end? About 2:15.
Yeah, this is the time of the year where the basketball shorts go away and the sweatpants come out.
My stepdad does that. My dad will walk around the house from about 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. in fully clothed with shoes on. With shoes on in the house. None of us have our shoes on in the house.
With the New Balances on?
My parents wear their shoes all day.
New Balances. They're grass-stained New Balances and jeans. And I'm always like, what are you? It's 6:30 in the morning. Where do you have to go?
He's ready for whatever.
Let me tell you what. He's ready to go. All right, you won't believe this, but we have our second hyphenated guest joining the show, Ryan Rowland-Smith, on with us next on your home for the Mariners in the American League Championship Series, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Get inside the Huddle.
The handoff inside. It's Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. It's going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
John here with Happy Hauler. We want to help get your unwanted items to those in need. Furniture and household items you plan on throwing away? We'll take them and prioritize donating and recycling, keeping items out of the landfill, and giving useful items a second happy home. Happy Hauler is Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We work with over 20 nonprofits all over Western Washington to donate used items. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. Reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends. And explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine.
Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers face Joe Flacco and the Bengals tonight for Thursday Night Football. Meanwhile, we've got a series in Seattle. The Blue Jays responded with heavy emphasis on offense after falling down 0-2 in the ALCS. Maybe it was never going to be easy. Game 3 back here in Seattle saw a 13-4 loss for the Mariners. George Kirby, the starter, accounted for 8 of those runs through 4 innings. The Mariners have a chance to punch back, though, with Game 4 tonight. Luis Castillo on the hill, 5:33 p.m. first pitch.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts,
Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Brian Rowland-Smith joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. As a reminder, our weekly visit with Ryan is brought to you by Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Ryan, this one was ugly, really ugly. I'll start with just maybe a general concern level that you might have on a scale of like 1 to 10 following this game.
I'd say a 5. I'm going to get it right down the middle because you're in such a good position getting the 2 games in Toronto. And again, you look at some of the numbers in regards to teams that win the first 2 games of any series, and it's a good 80 to 90% chance they're going through, and that's the history of a 7-game series at any stop in the playoffs. So you're in a really good spot there. So you can't disregard that as rough as last night was. But I'm calling it right down the middle of the 5 because this game is so pivotal. You're either walking away after this game, Game 4, and it's 2-2, and that just washes away that 2-0 start at the Rogers Centre, just completely goes away because guess what? That means you've got to go back to Toronto. And a lot of that, the good stuff that came out of that washes away. But if you go 3-1, well, then you're right back to where you were. So this game is I know every game is important, don't get me wrong, but this game is so pivotal, man. This changes everything. This is a situation where you go right back to square one and you essentially take a step back, or you keep that driver's seat, and that's simply put. So huge game tonight. Luis Castillo on the hill up against Max Scherzer, who's been pretty shaky in that last month, hence the fact he's left off the DS roster for a 22-year-old kid in Savage. So before Savage was Trey Savage against the Yankees. So I think that they're in a good spot, but man, this is a huge one.
Ryan, I was fine with Dan leaving Kirby out there as long as he did. I'm looking at the text lines. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, you should have pulled him. You don't wave the flag." Me personally, I'm thinking about just the war. I go, all right, we lost the battle, but you're still winning the war. How do you think he handled Kirby in that situation last night?
You mean in regards to keeping him in, taking him out?
Yeah.
Well, a couple things. George Kirby, the 3rd inning, as we saw, gave it up, 5 runs. When I went back and watched the at-bats in the first time through the lineup, the first inning and second inning, the pitch quality wasn't great. And you're not expecting, call it a regular season game, you're not expecting every pitcher to be absolutely dialed in, not missing a spot every single pitch. However, the game speed is a little bit different in the playoffs. And we know that, every inning of the 9 of every game, 5-game series or a 7-game series, is so crucial. And so when you're watching George and as the game's going on, you can take it 2 ways. Number one, you can say, well, okay, this is a team that makes really good quality contact, one of the best teams to do it in the Toronto Blue Jays. And they're not just a pesky make contact. No. They make contact with authority too. And when you were making mistakes in the middle of the plate, and we saw all the damage came in the first 3 pitches of the at-bat. It wasn't a situation where he couldn't put guys away with 2 strikes. No. The damage was happening pitch 1, 2, or 3, especially in that 3rd inning, 4th inning. And you're looking at this, so you can take it 2 ways. He can walk back in the dugout in those final innings that George was out there, and there could be a conversation saying, hey, man, we just need to make this slight adjustment. Okay, I trust my guy. You're in the dugout. You're in the trenches. And whether you be Dan Wilson, Pete Woodworth, or Cal Rowley in that sense, and you listen to George saying, all right, all we need to do is what tiny little adjustment can we make to get you back up and into these lefties, up and away to these righties, because he was out over the plate. You look at all the damage out over the plate. Matter of fact, the pitch he punched out Lucas, the first at-bat, was worse than the pitch he gave up the hit on. And so you're looking at that going, okay, all right, he's done this before. He's gotten into a nice rhythm. And so you can take it that way. And again, no one knows that unless you're in the dugout, man. That's just the way it goes, those conversations. And as good as George Kirby was that Game 5, so you have a little bit of that trust in your guy and giving him that moment and giving him that leash to get him through. However, you're looking at this going, man, all right, this is a situation where if you give the Blue Jays any kind of light or window here to open the floodgates, and that's exactly what they did. And regardless of if it's a one at bat like a Kerry Carpenter in that last series, or if it's just the floodgates open and they put up 12 runs like last night, the simple thing is they're now walking away from this going, hey, we're all good. We can take a breath. We lost our first 2 games at home, but we're here in Seattle. We heard all about the crowd and noise. Man, now all of a sudden, hey, we're all good, man. We've got a blueprint here. And we feel really good about where we're at offensively because they are such a potent and a tough team to navigate, even though we didn't see it in Toronto. So I look at it like that as well. So I obviously give Dan Wilson and co the benefit of the doubt, man. They've been doing this all year. They know their guys 30,000 times more than we look at. And that even goes back to the decision to keep George Kirby in 3rd time against Kerry Carpenter, right? And you know what? They're in this position because there is that giving the guy the moment, giving the guy that trust. But again, you look back and you can live in hindsight all you want. But the situation, last night, it just simply got out of hand quickly. Yeah. And, oh, man, I say this, as I'm watching that game, you could have that feel like it was a real punch in the face to this team with all the vibes happening after taking care of business in Toronto. I'm not saying anyone took their foot off the gas, but you could feel it. It wasn't that same sense of urgency throughout the game in little moments and pockets in the game.
I think the reality, as all of us know, is there are just games like that, and that includes in the postseason, where a game just gets out of hand, and no matter how much everyone wants to compete, it's kind of just their night. That said, one of the things that's been so interesting to me, Ryan, about postseason conversations is how intensely we talk about managerial decisions and kind of the philosophy about how to manage a postseason game. So staying with this topic, I feel like what people were mostly fighting about online is whether or not you ever should take your foot on the gas, like whether or not you ever make a decision based on, let's say, saving arms or looking ahead at all.
No, I'm going to say I'm even going to dispute that too. Mm-hmm. Go to in Game 5. Well, a couple things on this. You go back to Game 5 and even prior to that. You go back to the regular season. Remember Andres Munoz? I talked to you guys about this a lot. You go back to April, May. He wasn't going multiple innings. He wasn't getting 4-out saves. That just was off the table. Why? Because when you get down to the stretch, you're going to need him to get multi-out saves, 4 outs. You're going to have him get up there and come out in the 8th inning. We saw that in Game 5. I don't think there's any direction in saving arms at this point. I just simply think that, put it this way, and I'll give you an example. If you have, I'm trying to think of a certain, all right, call it Lucas, right? A hitter in that lineup, or I'm not going to say Jimenez in the situation, but I can, call it Vlad. Everyone knows who Vladdy is, right? You sometimes, when you're in a Game 5 and you're George Kirby, and it's the 2nd, 3rd inning, And you are looking over your shoulder saying, if I don't get through this inning or I give up runs right here in Game 5 against Tarek Skubal, I'm out. Therefore, you all of a sudden, you talk about that sense of urgency, all of a sudden, your pitch decision is drastically different. You are bouncing a breaking ball as opposed to, I want to get in a good count when it's the second pitch of an at-bat. It is literally every single pitch. And you can sit there and say, well, why wasn't he doing that last night? Well, last night he was in a situation where, and I said this earlier, and no fault to anyone, you're in a situation where you're up 2 games to nothing. It's Game 3. It's not do or die. You do things just a little bit differently, psychologically as well. And even as that game goes, swing decisions, same thing. Because every little swing and every little bit of base runner you can gain, every base you can take off to third base, e.g. Josh Naylor swiping that bag against Tarek Skubal, it all counts. But psychologically, you're in a situation like, okay, no, we're good. We thumped them in Toronto. We put up a bunch of runs. The good things are going to happen. The good things are going to happen. Don't try and overstep it. Don't try and bounce that breaking ball when it's the second pitch of that bat. Save that to get to 2 strikes. So there is a little bit of that psychology that goes into it as well. But in regards to the saving pitches, none of that I don't think comes into play. I'll put it this way. If you're in, let's say they got to that 8th inning, I guarantee you would get to that 8th, you'd see a Matt Brash in the 8th. But I'm telling you, Munoz should be ready to roll to get a 5-out save in that 8th inning because there is that sense of urgency to win that game. It just got out of hand.
Ryan, 7-game series are just tough, man, because you get off a 2-0 start. You're feeling like you're almighty, but you realize that this is a good ball club that you're facing, right? In football, it's black or white. You win, you lose, you move on to the next week. Who do you think should win this? Do you still feel like the Mariners should? And I know that's tough because it's a 7-game series. You're playing against a team that doesn't strike out. They're a good ball club. But do you feel like the Mariners should win this, or do you still feel like it's up in the air?
No, I think the Mariners should. And the foundation here, it sounds so boring, so old. I don't care. Starting pitching sets the tone and creates a ripple effect for every other component. And I'll explain, right? So, all right, let's take the Dodgers here. Bump, you're a Dodgers fan still?
Yeah,
right?
I'm still repping.
He might have to choose up. Fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Well, okay. I'll use them as an example because they've been in the postseason a bunch in the last half a decade, right? Dave Roberts has been notorious, like A.J. Hinch, to press the panic button a little earlier and make some crazy pitching decisions in the bullpen. You notice this year he has leaned, and you talk about taking a step back in regards to pressing that panic button with his pitching. Now, I get it. The first 2 games the Dodgers had, you had Yamamoto go 9 CG. You had Blake Snell get into the 8th inning, pitch through the 8th inning. I'm telling you right now, when you have that starting pitching, that is going to be the separator. I don't care if it's 10 years ago. You can talk about openers, bullpen games. I don't care. You look at the run of success teams have when they have that good starting pitching, which sets off the entire game. It just does. And look, the Blue Jays got away with it against the Yankees. They had that bullpen game, and they did it to perfection. Very, very difficult to do that multiple times, especially you mentioned a 7-game series. So what you're up against now, we talked about Max Scherzer pitching. Max Scherzer, there is a reason you keep a Max Scherzer, right, one of the best in the game, off a playoff roster in a 5-game series. Why? And why you went to a 22-year-old Trey Savage before he faced the New York Yankees is because you simply he cannot mess with that starting depth. They don't have the same starting depth as the Mariners do. That's just plain and simple. They don't have the same starting depth. And you can sit there all day long and say, yeah, short leashes and everything else. We saw this in Game 1. If you can get your Bryce Miller into the 6th inning, I'm telling you, man, amazing things are going to happen. Therefore, when you're talking about even when it all gets ironed out and you get through 7 games, if you have to have and A.J. Hinch said this. Everyone's like, oh, Bryce, a 5th starter? No, he's not a 5th starter at all. I know he's had a shaky year, but that's what you're up against. So the Mariners have that, to their name in regards to the starting pitching over the Blue Jays. Now, I know the offense. Everyone seems to be clicking right now with the Blue Jays, even though they didn't show it. But if you can get your guys to be in the zone with good quality pitches, George Kirby was in the zone, yes, not with quality pitches. You look at everything out over the middle that got hit in that third inning. But if you can make good quality pitches with 3 different pitches in the zone, that contact rate, that high aggressive rate of hitting like the Blue Jays have, that's going to play right into your hands. So I think the Mariners have the upper hand. They should win this series because they have the upper hand, because that sets the tone for absolutely everything, as cliche as that sounds, starting pitching.
Ryan, you reference Roberts and his ability to leave Snell in and leave Yamamoto in. If Castillo gets off to a hot start and he's looking good, do you think Dan has it in him to leave Castillo in? Because some of the decisions that he's made, people are like, oh, it's this textbook, right? He's going to do what you should do, and not how the game is played today, which is the opposite of what Dave Roberts has done with the Dodgers. Yeah. Do you think he should leave Castillo in, or do you think he has it in him to do it?
Well, first of all, Luis Castillo, third time through the order, is one of the best in baseball. He's a top 5 in baseball. When you look at not just batting average, but other things, swing and miss, maintaining velocity, chase rate, is one of the best in baseball. When you're talking as you get deeper, and the third look you get at Castillo is one of the best. So the issue Luis Castillo had when he was hitting the skids during the season was getting in a good rhythm. Man, when he was going, he had a batch of starts there right before he figured things out in September, where if you look at the first time through the lineup, it was ugly. Oh my God, he was getting destroyed the first time through the line. He just simply couldn't get in a rhythm. It had nothing to do with home and road. It was simply put where and he even said that too. I remember he said, he's just trying to find a bit of rhythm. And then all of a sudden that tempo and that cadence and that body language and everything that comes out of Castillo is huge. So when I'll say 2 things on this. I trust him when teams get multiple looks against Castillo, number 1. And number 2, and this is a big one for tonight too, when you're paying attention to Luis Castillo, what he did against the Tigers, was he sharp? No. But what he didn't do was he didn't give in. In other words, he was throwing a boatload of pitches right out of the gates. He was pitching away from contact. And I know you teach kids to get in the strike zone. But one thing that Castillo did was, I am going to scratch and claw as 0. I don't care if it takes me 30 pitches in this inning. I am not going to give anything to hit in the middle of the plate. He did that so well. And I know the start was short, but he still put up zeros. He still matched Scooble. And I think he's going to do the same tonight. So if it's a situation where he can be, if there is somehow efficiency because the Blue Jays do swing a ton, 100%, roll with him, because he's very good when teams get second and third looks at Castillo. But one thing he will not do is, oh man, a 2-0, 2-1 count, I need to go middle of the plate. No, he's not going to do that. He's going to be outside the strike zone a ton tonight. And he might be a short start, but he's going to just scratch and claw. I'm just putting up a 0. Get me through this, a 0. Get me and see how many zeros I can put before they take me out.
Our weekly visit with Ryan brought to you by Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. He is Ryan Rowland-Smith. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, guys.
All right, quickly, let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down.
Quickly, Michael.
Look, okay, I'm leading us here. First down. What stands out to you on film about the Texans' offense?
Stroud is a good quarterback. I know he's not putting up the numbers that Sam Darnold's putting up, that Indiana Jones is putting up,
Danny Dimes,
that the Baker is putting up. He's not, but he is efficient when throwing the football. The second when it comes to on target throws in the NFL, and he should not be slept on. He had a great first year, second year stumbled a little bit because of the offense and the offensive line and all that good stuff. But he is good, man, and I think that this game is going to be tougher than what people think. I think the Hawks have the ability to blow a team out because they're that talented, but I would not be surprised if this is a close one and if Stroud puts together a good performance, because the Hawks aren't good against the pass this year so far, even though they are 3rd in the league when it comes to interceptions. It's kind of weird, but yeah, Stroud is pretty good.
Yeah, they bring a lot of pressure, get sacks, they're 3rd in sacks, get a lot of interceptions, and then you look at the yards allowed, and I looked up the other day, yards after catch allowed from opposing offenses, they're 3rd. They've allowed 800 something yards.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, a chunk from the Bucks.
Yeah.
But still.
A lot from the Bucks.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. Second down. Let's look at the other side here. What stands out to you about the Texans' defense?
Their defense. They're 5th against the pass. They're 7th against the run. but they're first when it comes to points allowed. There's this linebacker from Alabama. I'm going to jack his name up. 0202, I believe his name is.
Okay.
We're going to go with that. My apologies to you and your family for jacking your name up. But he is a pistol. He's second on the team when it comes to tackles. And I'm going to touch on this when I do a preview for the Seahawks. But he is typically the weak side backer. So that's like when you look at the offense and there's more guys to one side of the formation, he'll typically be the backer on the side where there's least guys in the formation. And when you run to that strong side away from the weak side, typically you leave him unblocked. And he is the problem. That's been the problem for a lot of the run game when it comes to the Seahawks, the unblocked linebacker making plays. And he is a pistol. He will get downhill. He will make plays. Watch out for number 39, 0202. I'm gonna jack his name up again, but he's a baller.
Hopefully you don't get it right because you don't hear it a lot.
Yeah.
On Monday. That's the hope. Third down. Who do you want to see back up their performance from last week?
Nicky Mawari. I was so happy to see that young man out there. We interviewed him last week on Hawks Live, and he's bigger than what you guys think too. Not thick, but tall. I mean, look, I'm not a small guy, but I'm not big. I'm 5'11". He made me feel like I was like 5'3". Like that dude is a big guy, and he led the team in tackles. They put him in the box. They played him in coverage. He was just great all around. I'm so excited for him. After talking to him and kind of tapping into his mentality, I felt him, and I felt like he was going to have a big game, and he did. So I just want to see him just kind of stack the days, is what the saying is now in athletics. Stack days, stack reps. I want to see him do that. I think he will do that. Nicky Mawari had himself a solid game last week, and I think he'll do the same.
Fourth down. What cannot happen when the Hawks take on the Texans on Monday night?
You cannot let these guys run the football. Like, you can't. They're not very good at running the football. They're okay. You still have Nick Chubb. And I'm watching the film on Nick Chubb, and he's still got that Nick Chubb look. Every now and then he'll have that burst. He'll surprise you. He'll get loose. But you cannot allow these guys to get the run game going. The Hawks have been great against the run this year. You need to continue to do that, because I just mentioned how C.J. Stroud is having himself a good year. If the run game gets going, you know how this goes. We are Seattle, right? If the run game goes, the pass game goes. It's all correlated, but that cannot happen. If the run game is a factor, the Texans will be in this game. Can't let that happen. Mom, was that fast enough for you?
Yes. Is the run game a factor for Seattle too?
It always is.
That's the one thing I was trying to figure out. When I was looking up a preview, I was like, okay, so it's hard not to look at it as Seattle has a good passing offense against a great passing defense. Yeah. I was like, they've only allowed 3 passing touchdowns, which is crazy.
You're going to ruin my preview for the Seahawks.
Oh, sorry.
Okay? Stop taking it.
Okay. But can this also be a game in which Seattle's run can help lift them?
Yeah. I mean, we're still waiting on, like, there have been games where the numbers look good in the run game, but you haven't had K9 just go off, or Zach Charbonnet go off. It's been, okay, K9 for 60 to 80, and then Charbonnet for 20, and then Darnold has a 20-yard run, and then the numbers are inflated. We're still waiting on that, and it should be a factor, and I think it will be a factor. This is a intriguing game, because I think people are just overlooking the Texans.
I agree.
And you should not, because the film shows defensively they're solid, offensively they got some weapons, and Stroud is playing good ball.
Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
Game 4 of the ALCS between the Mariners and Blue Jays, of course. Pennant push starts at 2:30 p.m., pregame at 4:30 p.m., first pitch at 5:33 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. Coming up next, you are not ready for the wild answer Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon gave a reporter on Wednesday. That's next on your home for the Mariners in the American League Championship Series, Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Welp, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within 1 win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30. On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports. On 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Heward here for my friends at PCF Construction. It was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476. PCF Group.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
You know when not everyone has X accounts or Twitter accounts, but you know when someone will be like, you won't believe what this is in response to. That's how I feel about this, where it's like, you won't be able to guess. Unless you've heard this clip, you will not be able to guess what Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon says in response to this question. The question he's asked is whether there's a specific moment when he was able to take emotion out of coaching. You will not be able to guess his answer. Cut 7. Here it is.
Coach, how early in your career did you have to start trying to figure out how to take the emotion out of coaching, as far as when you have all these injuries and you have all these different pieces? When's the first time that you can recall that?
2007, when our quarterback went to jail.
No!
Coach, thank you.
Just staring. The coach, thank you, after also gets me. Gannon's obviously referencing his time spent on the 2007 Atlanta Falcons staff when Michael Vick went to jail for his
I was
involvement
trying to
in
figure it
that.
out.
Yes, it's Michael Vick when our starting quarterback went to jail. And then just silence. And Gannon is just staring. And I don't even think it's like a chat. I'm just, what?
He was honest.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to be funny in that moment. He answered the question.
He was being entirely honest.
You wanted him to elaborate?
No, it's just so unexpected. It's just, what do you say? I mean, it's his answer. That's his answer. I learned to take emotion out of coaching when our starting quarterback went to jail.
How does that teach you to take emotion out of coaching?
Maybe like to not feel either really disappointed or like something's unfair or like
Maybe he just realized we're not going to be as good because our quarterback went to jail.
Yeah.
So
and be like, what do you do about that?
I'm just going to coach.
Yep.
And just do my best. Let me tell you, when Mike Vick went to jail, Michael Vick is my favorite football player of all time. When he went to jail, that jacked me up. I was still in college, and I couldn't believe it. So I took emotion out of coaching too.
Can I tell you, 2 of Rick, my stepdad, who's 82, 2 of his favorite quarterbacks, and he's not a big sports person. He loves like big game hunting and fishing, NASCAR. So he's never been as into sports. 2 of his favorite football players, you will not guess them.
Mike Vick is one.
Mike Vick is one. Vince Young.
Really?
Yes.
For the culture, Rick.
Yes.
Okay. He's been ahead of the game. He goes, let me tell you, mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah. 2 of his favorite quarterbacks.
Let's go, Rick. I knew I liked Rick in his tucked in shirts.
Okay. Next story here. Did we find out the reason for the beef between the Bears and Troy Aikman? This story gets weirder. So Caleb Williams was asked if he was able to meet with Aikman for the production meeting ahead of Monday night. If you guys remember, some people felt like Troy Aikman, when commenting on that game, was maybe overly critical. Mm-hmm. I don't know that he was, but you could be forgiven for thinking so. Like he said that one touchdown was lucky, was pointing out some, misses and incompletions from Caleb and saying like,
he's doing his job.
He's doing his job. But some people felt like he was being too critical. Anyways, so here's what Caleb said about not being able to make that meeting in cut 8.
Did you meet with Troy last week leading up to the game?
I did not.
Stuff,
I did not. I didn't get to meet with him. Tried to meet with him, and then reached out and tried to meet, and that didn't happen. And so, moved on from it. Went and played the game and came out 3-2.
Why did you not meet with him?
I was here late and timings didn't meet up, lifting or whatever the case may have been, and then tried to call him after the day, that day that I was supposed to meet with him, and it didn't get through.
So the theory, and again, if you're seeing like Troy Aikman trending, or if you just aren't super caught up with the story and you're like, wait, why is Troy Aikman and the Bears or Caleb Williams or Ben Johnson having issues? It's that some people felt like Troy was too critical, and now the story looks as though Troy didn't have a chance to meet with Caleb and then took it personally and was more critical than he normally would be, which maybe happened and maybe didn't. I don't know. That would be unprofessional for a guy that's been doing this for so long, I think.
I also think for the side that maybe it happened is Troy Aikman is Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champion, has been one of the best analysts in the game for a while now. I could see him being like, how dare this young man not make time for me? But I also could see from Caleb's perspective that he has a routine that he does, and he has to and, athletes are just, they're routine-like people. And I have to get my lift in. I got to get massages. I have to do all this stuff. And Caleb is he's like the first new generation quarterback. He paints his nails.
Like a Gen Z
you know what I mean? Like he's a different type of guy. So I can see the old head Troy Aikman be like, how dare he? But who knows what's true and what's false when it comes to this whole thing. I think end of the day, Troy Aikman is going to do his job. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you can be seen as more critical. Sometimes you can be seen as less critical. I bet he's less critical on the Cowboys.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah.
Do you think, though, that there are most analysts are former players? And which is something I always want to highlight, because people always get mad when people who weren't in sports, like myself, or most hosts, aren't former players, and it's a different job. Most analysts, second chairs, any of our second chairs, are former players, and that includes most analysts on obviously TV broadcasts. There has to be just bias with every single one of them. Yeah. Every single one of them.
Of course.
If you're an analyst, you already are like a well-known player. You had a great relationship with that team. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, I had a cup of coffee with the Raiders and then now I'm in the booth. It's like, you're one of the most well-known people there.
Yeah.
You're Brady, Aikman.
Right. Romo.
They have to just have, or at least more insight and more connections. And yeah, it's like, I'm not forgiving it. I'm just accepting it.
Yeah. He's a human. He could have felt a type of way about it.
Someone said, I just know Stacy's stepdad loves Ray Lewis. You know who two of his favorite artists, though? Jimmy Buffett,
Hendrix.
Tina Turner.
Really? What's love got to do with it? Rick.
Next story here. A little bit of background to Tagovailoa's the whole situation continues. So if anyone has not been following this, I will take 30 seconds to recap it for you. There's been plenty of drama this offseason, and which was spreading far into spring with the Dolphins. The latest issue was that after their very recent loss, Tua Tagovailoa in his postgame press conference called out leadership for a lack of, what would you call it, like not ambition, but like drive, I guess. Discipline from players, pointing out that, like, yeah, there have been players late to meetings. Mm-hmm. So there was already a debate about whether or not Tua should have said anything. Like, should this be an in-house discussion kind of thing? Or Tua, you're a quarterback. Are you kind of leadership too? So that was already a debate. But because so many people were talking about it and quite a few people were critical of him, he's since apologized for that comment, which did throw Miami's coaching staff under the bus. Cut 9. Take a listen.
As a leader of this team, of the Miami Dolphins, the comments that had been said, I would say I've made a mistake, and I'm owning up to that right now. I've talked to guys on the team about it, talked to the leaders about it, and that they know my heart. They know that the intent was right, but no matter the intent, the intent can be right, but when things get misconstrued or however the media wants to portray it, that leaves a void of silence and a lot of questions for the guys on our team. Now, being 1-5, we talk a lot about, all right, we got to get this going. We got to get this going. Come in excited to go to work. Forget about the noise. And I feel like I just added on to that for our guys.
Did he need to apologize?
Not to us, maybe to his team. But I think that possibly doing it publicly and privately just reinforces his feelings on it. Because I felt like he shouldn't have came out. There's a way that you hold people accountable without doing it the way that he did it.
Yeah.
There's a way to kind of keep it broad. He got really specific when it comes to that. So, no, I don't think he needed to do it to us, but I don't think it hurt his case with his teammates. I think it definitely helped. As long as he took care of it in the locker room, then I think he's good.
Yeah, right. Like, don't be only forward facing.
Yeah.
Like, as long as maybe this is about saying, like, hey, that's on me. Don't ask us any more questions about it. I shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
Which maybe that is what happens here. So weird stuff happening in Miami. Who are they playing where you were like, this
Cleveland.
could be Cleveland?
Big game. If they lose this game,
that could be.
I think Mike's gone.
Yeah. All right. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776 next on your home for the Mariners in the American League Championship Series. Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Get inside the Huddle.
The handoff inside. He's Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. It's going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Hey, it's Brock Ewart here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Touchdown, Seahawks! Ken Walker III. Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know. Do either of you have a lucky clothing item you wear for important games? I'm guessing this person does. Does anyone else, like, you have to wear the same thing or a certain thing you wear?
I did watch the game at my spot I go to, Moonshine, and my buddy who owns the spot, Tom, his mom comes in, Leslie, love you, Mom, we call her Mom, and she was like, Bob, you're not wearing your chain. Last time we won, you wore your chain.
I think it's very common that people have a thing they do if they did it that time.
So guess what I'm wearing today?
Your chain?
My chain.
If they win, this is because of you.
I have to go with the silver, not the gold one.
Yeah.
So if they win, I will wear the silver chain for the rest of the playoffs.
Good. Who do you want to see have a monster game tonight? Ideally, Gino, just because he's been quiet. I'll just say someone between, like, Gino, Crawford, maybe Robles. The bats have just been quiet. Castillo.
Yeah. Have a monster
That's a better
game.
answer. That's a better answer than mine. Curtis, what about you? Or Ian, who do you want to see have a monster game tonight?
I'd love to see Luis Castillo go 7 strong. That'd be.
I think you and Bumper.
That'd be great. That'd be
better here with
ideal.
your answers.
I want a leadoff shot into Randy Land. I feel like Randy, we've been talking about how due Gino is, but Randy Rosarena is supposed to be this big postseason performer. He hasn't really showed up yet too much.
Hitting about 200.
I don't like your tone, Ian.
I just want to see it. I'm just hoping for big hits.
What I need to know, who's your favorite pitcher on this Mariners roster?
Right now? Luzardo.
Yeah.
I like his vibe. I like his energy. There are pitchers who are better than him for sure, but right now I'm feeling Luzardo.
I think Castillo has been maybe a little more stable than people give him credit for. Certainly through September and into the postseason. I don't know. For the longest time, I felt like it was Logan. Like, I remember thinking when this staff was so good last year that for some reason, I don't know that Logan had the best pure stuff, but I was like, he just feels like the most likely to go hit a no-hitter. Like, of all your guys, it feels like it could be him. And then no one did. I don't think league-wide anyone did, right, this year? But I think Bizzardo might be leading the charge right now. He's been so clutch. What about you guys?
When healthy, Brian Wu. I mean, he's just you set it and forget it. He's like a crock pot, you know?
The Mariners crock pot, Brian Wu. Set it and forget it.
And it's gonna last a long time, yeah.
It's gonna be it's just a great dinner. It's family friendly.
You walk in, you smell the house. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have this nice soup.
Okay. What I need to know. Do you guys get nervous tummies right before the game starts like tummies. I do?
No, you know what's weird? I stopped getting nervous before games when I got into high school. Like, I don't get nervous. I get like anxious, like I just want to go do it, but I haven't been nervous in a long time.
I get nervous about everything. I get nervous if when the escalator goes up before it goes into the scrapey little top part of it. I get nervous that I'm gonna miss that. Like there's everything makes me nervous. I'm the most neurotic person you've met in your life. I'm nervous that when I walk out of an elevator, if I don't go quickly enough, it's gonna fall and cut me in half.
You just made me nervous for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think about that every single time. Now you're in the torture place that is my mind.
So I'm gonna sprint into elevators now.
Yes, I step very quickly in and out of elevators and with escalators without fail. It's just been my entire life. Like, as it starts getting towards the top or getting to the bottom, I go, what if I fall? What if I fall? It's going to be so embarrassing. Everyone's going to see me.
Do you guys remember the TV show?
So, yes, games do make me nervous.
Do you remember the TV show Rescue 911? It was supposed to be William Shatner.
Uh-huh.
There was an episode where, like, a kid got stuck in an escalator.
God.
And, like, got their coat stuck in it and, like, it wouldn't stop. And, like, that scarred me for life. Like, I was like, man, I will never mess up on an escalator so long as I live. And to this day, we have not messed up on an escalator.
I know. I'm going strong, but I think about it every time. Every time.
Every time.
Sometimes I take the stairs on purpose.
Really?
Yeah.
You serious?
Everything scares me. Everything makes me nervous, and these games make me
How do you
nervous.
live by yourself if you're that scared of things?
Boy.
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have a weapon in your home?
I have knives. I got this set of kitchen knives that are all neutral tones.
Did a kid knock on the door and sell them to you?
What, am I just gonna like open the door with a knife?
I just need a nice beige knife.
What's his name? Nick Bargatze has this great stand-up bit where he talks about if someone breaks into his home and he has to defend his family. Let's say he only has a knife. He needs to practice first on like a pillow because he's never been in a fight with a knife. And he's like, so my wife will have to go and distract him. You start fighting him so I can practice. Okay. Someone said what I need to know. How do you watch a playoff game with people that aren't baseball fans? They react to everything like it's the end of the world. I will also add they react to every very obvious fly ball like it's a home run.
I don't watch games with people who don't know ball.
I can't do it.
I can't do it. At least the majority of the spot. Like I said, I go to Moonshine, and most of my guys know ball. If they don't know, I have the great ability, because I have 3 kids, to block out the noise. I just ignore them. I don't respond to anything they say.
I do the same thing as far as just like I have to watch it by myself or I have to zone out and ignore whoever I'm with. If you could rewrite the ending to a movie, what would it be? No recent ones, so we don't spoil anything for anyone.
I would rewrite the ending to... Oh! You know what? Hey, Curtis, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball, they just won the pennant. They didn't win the World Series, did they?
In Major League, yeah.
All right,
Haven't
won the World Series.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Curtis?
Yeah, I mean, sticking with, like, baseball movies, we never did get to see how the Cubs won the World Series in Rookie of the Year. We just know that they won the World Series.
Yeah.
And
So you'd add that
Henry
scene.
blew his arm out again in the NLCS.
So how'd you guys get
how'd
this
they
done?
get it done? Yeah.
You know what? Tin Cup. Remember Tin Cup where he puts the ball in the water like 7 times in a row? I would mix it up and say he hits the green and he wins, because it's a feel-good movie.
Yeah.
But he ends up losing the tournament.
Maybe Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
What he ends up doing is choosing love and you know, accepting people into his life. But what if he did go become a super scientist, math person somewhere, and then worked for the government?
Okay.
You know where this is going.
Yep.
And then became Jason Bourne.
Yep. And actually landed on the moon.
And Bump, you're going to get people, not today, Bump. Today's too important. Today's too important. We're going all Seahawks from noon to 2 with the Huddle. Dave Wyman joins us next.
Welp, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within one win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years of living in our home, our window seals started breaking. That's when I called Harley Exteriors. They're huge fans of our teams and regular listeners at the station, but what really sold me was their Olympic Series windows, built right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. They're beautiful windows that last up to 60 years, and they'll help with noise, too. Harley Exteriors knows you've been spending a ton on playoff tickets, so they have a special deal for Seattle sports listeners. No interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off, and take another $200 off your entire project. They're the friendliest team and so easy to work with. You call the number, and the person on the other line asks, "How can I make you smile today?" Just give them a ring and tell them you heard our ad. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailalarm.com today.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking man.
At Bible Law Group, we understand when you've got legal problems so biblical, not even an Etsy witch can turn your court case around. With James Bible and his team by your side, don't panic when your ark is lost in divorce or when a whale swallows your defense attorney. At Bible Law Group, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. When your legal problems hit biblical proportions, contact Bible Law Group and let our talented team of lawyers get to work, no matter the problem. Find us at BibleLawGroup.com.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. This is the Huddle.
The handoff inside. He's Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Exclusively on Seattle Sports on 710, Seattle Sports on YouTube, and the Seattle Sports app with hosts Michael Bumpus, Stacy Rost, and Dave Wyman.
You don't focus. You go get that.
Time to go inside the Huddle.
The Seahawks are coming off a Week 6 win over the Jags and getting ready for prime time, a Week 7 Monday night football game, 7 p.m. kickoff against the visiting Houston Texans. Here with Dave Wyman and Michael Bumpus. Today we're going to talk to a few Seahawks, including Jarran Reed and Brady Russell. But we're going to start by talking about what we learned from the Jags. Wyman, you already know I'm going to go defense with you. We have a lot to talk about with this one. The defense entered this game shorthanded once again, and I thought, oh, God, is this going to be a problem here? You can still go strength for strength, but will they be susceptible to, let's say, the pass like they were against the Buccaneers? Instead, they sacked Trevor Lawrence 7 times.
Yeah.
What did you see?
Yeah, they just got after it. You know, it's funny, this defense, it seems like when they have a really bad game, they like immediately fix it, like the next week. And I know that that's Mike Macdonald's way of dealing with things as well. Like last year, I thought, well, the linebackers, they're okay. And then they just replaced those guys and took off defensively. So, and then going into this game, you're looking at, before the broadcast, I was talking about the first time I ever broadcast a game with Raible was 2017 at Jacksonville. And they had all of these first-round draft choices, all these ballers, first-round guys, number 1 pick in the draft. And that's kind of what they had now, right? They had 2 number 1, Trayvon Walker and Trevor Lawrence. And then, you got the number 2 pick in Hunter. It just looked like this was going to be a really tough, matchup for them. And they just entirely demolished their offensive line and just read everything perfectly. They were trying to get that screen out on the edge. DeMarcus Lawrence, I thought, I had written in my notes, when is he going to, get rewarded? Like, he's doing everything right, but he didn't have any sacks or tackles for loss or anything. And he had a monster game. Byron Murphy, those guys up front, that was impressive.
Can I continue on defense, Bump? Because I'm glad you mentioned Byron Murphy, Wyman. Byron Murphy was one of those Seahawks that I think all of us thought, God, you really would love to see even more from him this year. He's a first-round pick. Mike Macdonald's team has got to have a great defense. That's got to be part of your identity. We've seen him blossom so quickly here.
Yeah, Jay Reed let us know in the summertime what was about to go down with him. We might talk to him today. But Jay
when he was cursing, saying all that, he's strong as bleeds.
So I don't know how much of it you guys heard.
That's right.
He warned us that this is going to be a bad man. I want to say the first snap against the Jags, Byron Murphy got a sack, right?
Yep.
Yeah, first snap. That is just development at its finest. And when you hear about his development from his peers, it's more than likely going to happen. But that's huge, man. You really have 2 of the best interior defensive linemen on your squad right now in Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy. And when you can do that, when you get that, what Moyer says, gut pressure, that makes the quarterback have to escape, which allows Uchenna and the guys on the edge to get sacked.
Let's transition to the offense. I found it's not like a weird stat in that it's a crazy one. It was just kind of the one that was noticeable to me, that Jackson Smith and Jigba's 3 best games in terms of just receiving yardage had all come in losses. And so when he started really gaining in this one, I almost tweeted that. And then I was like, I better not. I'm glad that this week came with a win. Wyman, I'll start with you, but let's transition to talking about just this offense's ability, not just in this game, but all season long to, I think, hit the ground running faster than we expected, at least in terms of the pass. I probably mixed metaphors there.
Yeah, well, I was listening to you guys on the way in, and, we haven't had that big explosive run, performance just yet. But in the meantime, Sam is just so calm, and I loved that touchdown. Felt bad for Newsom. They trade for that guy. He gets burned for a touchdown, and then I saw him like he was like standing off by himself.
Because you don't know anyone.
Yeah, he didn't know anybody.
Poor guy.
Feel bad for him.
But I mean, that just looked like. I mean, a lot of times JSN will kind of slow his speed and then run away at the end. He's really good at that. But I felt like that Sam just said, "I'm going to throw it as hard as I can, as far as I can, and I want you to run as fast as you can, and it's going to connect." And it was perfect. I don't remember seeing a better deep ball than that. So yeah, I love what Sam Darnold is doing right now, and just by all accounts, he's just very calm. And you see, like every once in a while, he'll get hit and just kind of get up, brush himself off, no problem, next play. So yeah, I mean, that's on offense, that he's the guy that really stands out. But if I'm going to be nitpicky, I would love to see like Charbonnet have 125 yards, or rush for close to 200. Have that kind of breakout game, big day in the run game.
Bump, I know that you kind of keep your eyes on receivers, pass catchers in general. You've been talking about this tight end group plenty. What was a 2-barrel question here for you? What was something kind of sticking with you after this one? You noticed, maybe you jotted it down for post game. And then secondly, going off of what Wyman mentioned about the run, is there a chance to get that going against the Texans? Start with either one.
I think there's a chance to get it going, because I feel like this run game is close to really popping, and it just comes with reps. It comes with understanding angles. It comes with getting bodies on bodies. Something that has stuck out to me as far as the pass catchers, I would say just A.J. Barner. I mean,
also a 61-yarder.
Yeah, yep, 61, and the effect that JSN is going to have on getting these guys open. Because you're always going to look and find number 11. All right, where's 11? All right, we're going to keep it. Safety's going to keep his eyes on him, and that's what happened with A.J. Barner's touchdown. Is that one, you're in man coverage, but just the influence of Jason going across the field, the safety steps up doing his run steps, fakes the handoff, A.J. over the top. So no, I think the emergence of A.J. Barner, I think, is crucial. I want to call him. Someone asked on our show yesterday, is he a top 10 tight end? So then I went home and I did some homework, and I go, most definitely, he's a top 10 tight end in the NFL right now.
Well, and also his blocking is fantastic. But real quick, we saw A.J. Barner after the game, and me and Raible, we walked into the locker room, and because I think Raible had to go to the bathroom or something because he's old. Anyway, so he walks by A.J. Barner, and Barner goes, "Hey, did I get a holy catfish on that one?"
The fact that he is in tune like that is awesome.
I know.
Yeah. You knew about the barnyard? All right. Yeah. We're going to talk about this offense plenty when we preview Monday night. Can't wait to get to that. We're going to be joined next by Jarran Reed. Don't go anywhere. This is the Huddle.
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks safety Ty Okada.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Hi, this is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. Big Trees has certified arborists and site experts who help you select the right trees for the right location on your property. When Big Trees installs a tree, we offer a 1-year warranty and 1 free aftercare visit from a board-certified master arborist. To learn more about our process, visit BigTreeSupply.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car. And she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Your home for baseball's postseason and your American League West champion Mariners. Seattle Sports. Back to the Huddle. Only on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
We are joined now by Jarran Reed. Jarran, what a game for the defense. Absolutely. Oh, if you guys are watching on the app or on the stream right now, Jarran let you know, hey, what's up? Amazing game for the defense. How long do you guys actually take to kind of reflect on this before you just look ahead to the next one? Was there a little bit of celebrating?
Oh, of course, for us to come out and have an opening like that,
Come on.
Of course we had to celebrate, but we're always challenged to do it again. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? But in an exciting way.
Yeah.
It just should be the standard for us for real.
It seems like whenever, not a great game defensively against Tampa, but it seems like every time that happens, you guys just like correct it the next week. Like, what was the discussion, about, because their offense, they got a bunch of ballers, right? They got number 1 picks, number 2 picks.
Yeah, well, for us, it was really just getting back to the basics of what we do. It wasn't like no big hoorah speech. It wasn't anything different we needed to do. We just needed to do the basic things the right way. And I think, we honed on that, focus in on that during practice.
We were talking about Byron Murphy before you came in. I said, Jay Reed gave us a heads up in the summertime. You said he was looking good. He was strong. You were praising him. So you gave us the warning shot. What have you seen of that dude this year?
I ain't surprised. I see it every day. So, just to see it, just to let the world see, that he's putting the world on notice, man. I'm excited for him. Like I always say, man, he's a great young man, great player, great teammate. It's nothing you can ask for. He checks off all the boxes, and I'm going to forever praise him, give him his flowers.
Before we got on air, all of us were talking. It was Wyman's question, which was a great one. All of us were talking about just a game when the defense felt quite as overwhelming. What was it that you were wondering, if there had been a game where you just felt like the defense was that sweltering?
Yeah. It was just and also just like an immediate repair, but like but basically you said, hey man, it's just business as usual, right? Yeah. You guys expect to have those kinds of games, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think with what we got up front, we're humble, respectful, but we're hungry as well. We work hard. I like to think, like, besides the O-line, like, there's no shade to the other part of the team, but you know how it is in the trenches. Like,
you're
just deep in the dungeon during individuals. Nobody really looking at you. Everybody's looking at the catching the throws. And
yeah.
We're just down there hitting the sleds and jamming our fingers and stuff. And, it's a part of the game, and I love it, though, man. Just to be able to have that recognition for once of, like, the hard work that we do, go put it on display, like, on Sunday.
Can I, not to jump ahead of you, but I want to ask before I forget, just a quick one. You might not have an answer. You talk about the trenches and how hard that can be. I didn't realize that. I'd never played. And then one time I was interviewing Dwayne Brown, and I looked down and his socks were bloody at his toes, and that was, like, new to me. It wouldn't be for you, but I was like, oh, I don't get this. Has there ever been something that happened to you in a game where you were like, this is so uncomfortable, like it's gross, but you just don't feel it yet?
Always. And you make it contentious, but, like, okay, somebody stepping on your toe hurts really bad. Okay?
Yes, it does.
The fact that you have to go, like, play the next play, and when somebody just stepped on your toe, knowing that you need to dig in the turf, it's like the worst feeling. I always say this, though, between that, jamming your fingers or breaking your fingers. Yeah. Like, especially in the O-line, D-line position, and your toes instead on. Those has got to be the worst to me. At that point, I'd rather just do something else. Just like hit my funny bone or something. But
Anything
between
but
those, you stub that toe or something, it just hurts so bad. It's like that lingering sting that just goes around. Then you got to get out and play the next play. You be limping and stuff. That's I'm for real, though. That only the worst, especially when you're jamming in practice. Then you got to play the toe card. Then use your hand, strike.
You know what's crazy? All my years playing, I'm on the outside. I was a receiver. I've never had my toe stepped on, ever.
Wow.
You're a lucky man.
Bless.
Lucky you.
Because you're going to play through it, and it's going to bother you, and it's only going to get worse. One of the guys that came back for the top 50, Jeff Bryant, Boogie, he stepped on my toe during a walkthrough the day before a game, and I go, oh, he's like, what's wrong? I go, man, you just stepped on my toe. He's like, it's a long way away from your heart.
Yeah,
but you know you're going to play through it, and it's just one of those things. You're like, okay, this is going to hurt for like the next 6 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. There's probably I don't know if you have an answer to this, but on the road, you guys are just locked in. Like, what is it about you guys on the road? I know it's just football. You got to line up 100 yards, 53 and a quarter, or whatever it is wide. But what is it about the way you guys perform on the road?
I think that question is kind of just, I don't know, it's kind of tough to answer to me because I don't look at like road or way.
Right.
To me, it's just the attention by the players of, how being locked in. I think, okay, well, I can say this. I think the fact that we know that we're going against more than just us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's like a general thing, like somebody doing something. Like, I think the fact that we know that we're going into a stadium, knowing that we have to go in their house and beat them, I think that gives it a little different oomph.
Yeah.
But we also have to have that same mentality at home. Like, they're trying to come in here and do that to us.
Yeah.
Now, granted, like, I mean, when you look at the games, it's like just right there,
Right.
And, sometimes, let's just say, I don't know. I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to make no excuses. But, it's just, which we are taking the initiative to do, and, which is take advantage of our home field. So.
You talk about there being like an extra thing sometimes when you're going into someone else's house, and you guys are human, so it's like the environment is going to impact you. You can be like, yeah, we're 1-0, we're looking ahead, but like environment plays a factor. Does it feel different playing in prime time? Monday night, it's going to be 7 p.m., bright lights. Do you feel a difference in your experience?
Big time players make big time plays in big time games, right? That's the saying that you say when these stuff happen, when these type of games happen. And for me, I've been in it kind of enough. It's just I don't make the moment bigger than what it is. So I just try to go out there. I don't do nothing. I'm the same way. Like, y'all see me serious, but I actually joke a lot, like especially during the game. So, that's just kind of like how I am. I like to stay even keel. That's just me personally. Like to stay like kind of loose and focused and stuff. And you just go out there and play. I mean, that's what TV. The only different time is the time.
Yeah.
So.
Who's the biggest joker? Is it you, like on defense? Who's the guy that's like maybe joking the most or talking the most? Is it a defensive back?
Oh, Spoon never.
That was gonna be my guess.
Is it quiet?
No, he's never quiet. So definitely probably Spoon for sure. I could blabber on sometimes, but that's just get me through the day. Yeah, I think Spoon got that crown.
Every time I see that dude, he is talking crap or like I see him run on the field. He's getting on the fans. I mean, he is just he's got to pick everybody up though, right? I mean, you see that guy and how hard he plays on film. I would think for other players, you're like, that's the standard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Who's been? Is there a matchup that you've had throughout your career that you enjoy? You've been in the league for a while. I'm sure you've come across a player or two a few times. Is there a matchup that you just like getting after? It's going to be tough.
I think he retired though. Martin from Dallas.
Yeah.
So that was kind of one. Yeah, like now it's kind of like, I feel like right now it's kind of hard for me as a question, but that's the one person I know for sure. But now it's just like I done played against so many people. Just
a number.
Yeah.
I feel stupid asking, like, tell me about your guys' expectations for yourself, since it should always be high, and I know that's what you're going to say. Do you guys ever hear when people on the outside are like, I think the Rams are going to win the West, and you guys are like, we've got a great defense. We've got a great offense right now. Like, do you see this team as being a team that absolutely should be in conversations for when you guys are talking about Super Bowl teams, include us?
I mean, I feel like we should be a part of any conversation, but I think more so we're focused on what we're doing here. The outside noise is outside noise. Some of it's poison, some of it's good stuff. It can spoil you.
Yeah.
I'm never one to kind of read too much into it because I think that's what the people want you to do.
Yeah.
But I think, man, real talk, before the game, I think, like, us as a team, we're focused on having a good Wednesday, a good Thursday. Like, that's what's important to us, like our preparation during the week. So, like, the game is going to take care of itself because our hardest time for real, like, literally is during practice. Like, practice is tough. So, I think, like, as long as the guys are focused on the task at hand, we're never going to be too far ahead. Like, that's not us, like, as a team.
Well, let's hope that you have a very good Monday with no one getting their toes stepped on, for sure. We'll avoid that. He is Jarran Reed, kind enough to join us for the Huddle. Brady Russell's next.
Well, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within one win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Ooh, ma.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
The fall, well, it's a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff, and Top Fitness has some great deals going on right now. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and you've heard me talk about working out in your home gym. It's the best. From flooring to everything that goes in that gym, like treadmills, ellipticals, and strength training systems, well, Top Fitness provides it all. Top Fitness represents the very best brands available, like Washington's own Precor, yes, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with so many others. Give Top Fitness your room dimensions right now, and you know what? They'll do the rest. They'll do a complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing, mention you heard it from me, and receive an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. It's no secret that everyone, from personal trainers to professional athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness has locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit them online at topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Yay to Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum fiber internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
This Breast Cancer Awareness Month, choose care that puts you first. At Snoqualmie Valley Health, you won't wait weeks for a mammogram. Appointments are available now, just 30 minutes east of Seattle. Experience the difference with advanced 3D mammography and our new Breast Health Suite, designed for accuracy, comfort, and peace of mind. If you're 40 and older, yearly screenings are recommended, and no referral is needed if you haven't had a mammogram in the past year. Don't wait. Detect early. Schedule today at SnoqualmieValleyHealth.org.
This is where you hear the AL West champion Mariners in the ALCS, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app. Back to the Huddle, only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Another Seahawk joining us, and this time we're bouncing over to offense with Brady Russell. Brady, how's it going?
Great. How are y'all doing?
Good. Happy to have you, and excited to see this team in prime time. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff, a little bit later here in Seattle, against the Houston Texans. Have you been able to watch a bit of film on Houston so far?
I have, yeah.
What can you tell us
It's been
about
kind of nice with an extra day to get into it.
I know.
But definitely a fast, aggressive team. Their defense is stout. Obviously, they've got 12 points a game on defense. That's pretty crazy. But special teams-wise, that might not be what everybody's wondering about. But they're a good unit with a lot of different players, so it's exciting for me.
Imagine if he said he didn't watch film. Like, he was like, no, I ain't watching no film, man. I just been
You
chilling.
seem like a very prepared person, so I felt like the answer would be yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got plenty of time for that later in the week.
I'll
It's a
check it
Monday
out
night game.
Sunday.
Hey, we asked Jarran Reed this, and I suppose with all the like primetime games and everything, that it's not as big of a deal. It used to be when I played and Bump played that, like, that was, you knew. I think the thing I liked about it was that you knew all of your peers were watching you, all the rest of the NFL. Because whenever there was a Monday night game, we'd all, go have a beer and watch the game. Does that still have that appeal, Monday night?
Honestly, like, I might be the odd one out in this case, but I don't really think about it any different, which might be good or
Actually,
bad. I don't know.
That's kind of what Jarran Reed said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it's just another game.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like hopefully, like, I'm preparing the same this game and the same next week. Well, not next week, and the week after as I'll prepare for the Super Bowl. Like, it shouldn't change just because of the setting that it's in.
But is it more exciting to you just knowing that, or because you grew up with Monday Night Football?
I think the exciting part is that you do know, like, your family and everyone you knew back in the days, and you watch him and be like, oh wow, there he is.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know he was in the NFL. It's kind of funny.
What's preparation's got to be different for you? Fullback, tight end, specials. What's your process like?
Well, I spend a good amount of extra time meeting with Jay Harbaugh just so I can dial in on the details of special teams, because there's a lot more to it than most people would realize. So that's a huge part of my process. And then when it comes to fullback and tight end, it's mostly just extra time going over our installs and stuff for the week and knowing what's going on. There's not much of a recipe other than just putting in a little more work. Right. If I have more things to memorize and more things to learn, then I'll just spend a little more time each night going over everything before bed or whenever that is, or after meetings once everyone's out of the building. So it's a pretty simple process. Just put the work in. Yep.
I know you mentioned a little bit with Bump's answer, and to start, like, I don't know how many people care about special teams, but it matters to me. But I do want to focus on it, and we all do, because you guys are, I know at least a week ago, you were first in EPA per play with special teams, and you're, I think, the best special teams group in the league right now. If not first, then you're second. And that's hugely impactful. It's really impactful, whether you think about not just block kicks, but like average return yards and the work that you guys put in. What's something you think people don't understand? You mentioned there's a lot people don't understand. What's something that you find yourself maybe explaining to someone?
I think just the amount of scheme that there is. Like, when you see, like, Punt Pro, for example, is probably the best example. But, like, it'll just be way zoomed out and kind of looks like everybody's just doing the same thing every play when you're watching on the TV. But the amount of twists and loops and different calls you might have to make and different things that you have to handle that a certain team is going to attack you with because they think it's your weakness in Punt Pro. You just have to be prepared for every single one. And then the other unique part about it is it's not like offense or defense where you're going to have 40 opportunities and you screw one up. Like, if you mess up Punt Pro once, like, especially on Monday Night Football, everyone in the nation is going to know your name for a bad reason. So we have to be prepared kind of in a different way. And then the other piece of that is you don't know when your opportunity is going to come. So, like, you all of a sudden see, I can't think of his name, Noel. I don't know how to say his name, if it's Noel or Noel, but their punt returner in the open field. And that's like either your chance to make a tackle or miss a tackle on national TV. And then like that might not ever come again for 3 more weeks till you have another chance to make a punt tackle. So the slim opportunities and having to take advantage of each one and be totally prepared for the plethora of things that can come is pretty unique to special teams.
Is there, I guess I'm asking you to, is there one that you really don't like? I was going to say hate, because I hated kickoff return, and I played my way out of that job, by the way.
Good for you,
I was very proud of myself, yeah. There was a poor returner was laying on the ground crying, and that was because of me. No, I mean, that one I didn't like, but like when I went to Denver, I was like, I want to be on punt team, and I want to be on the field goal block team. So is there any one that you, I don't want to say you hate it, but like what's the one that you like the most?
The one I like the most is kickoff for sure. Like I live for kickoff, and it's so frustrating when you aren't getting a lot of kickoffs in a game, because you just think every time you think it's your opportunity that you're going to go make a splash play and either grab momentum for your team or keep momentum for your team, whatever it is. So I love kickoff. I'd say kick return's kind of a good answer. It's like probably the least enjoyable, but when you do have a good block that springs a return, like it's a really, really good feeling, because it's really difficult. When you're one-on-one with 53.5 yards of space. So.
Is that why it's the least enjoyable?
I'd say least enjoyable just in the fact that you get beat the most, maybe.
Okay.
Well, and you have to stand there while he gets a head start.
Yeah, you're also just wearing hits.
Exactly.
Right. I played with a guy, his name was Eric Frampton. He was like the nerdiest dude off the field, but when he got on the field, he tapped into this totally different player. I remember it was this year or last year, I was in the press box. I had my glasses on, and I'm watching you, and you are just getting hyped on the sideline. And I was like, all right, I can mess with him. Are you like that off the field too, or do you tap into something once you get on the field?
No, I think if you ask anyone in the building, probably I'm pretty kind of like that all the time. Probably to a point that it can get annoying at times. I try not to, but like even at practice, like I'm just so jacked up every time, because I mean it's just another opportunity to play ball, so it's tough not to be excited.
So what you're saying is you take your shirt off all the time?
Yeah. I actually don't wear a shirt in this building. I just put this on right now.
Brady, what if you had to list your 3 most annoying traits, 1 through 3?
3 most annoying traits?
It's a therapy session here. Let's talk about this.
Well, that's hard. I don't even know.
What would your teammates be like? Oh, Brady, why? Okay, is it number 1 just going to be like constantly getting hype all the time?
Well, but see, it can be a great thing too.
I think that's great.
It mostly is good, but I probably there's probably someone there that's a Scrooge and doesn't want me yelling all the time or something. Maybe not though. Maybe we've got rid of all the bad apples and just everybody loves juice all the time.
Or they're quiet
sure
and you're
like
secretly their favorite.
Yeah, you never know.
What was the joke you made in Green Bay about Clifford? It was something about Clifford the dog, and you like screamed it out, and I don't think anybody got that.
Yeah, Sean Clifford was running back to the huddle after coming on our sideline. I said something about him being a big red dog.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. But
I don't know if anybody got that one.
I need more abstract.
The guy next to me, actually, whoever it was, and it was an older guy, I can't remember who it was, but one of the security guys, he's like, oh, he was referencing Clifford the big red dog.
Clifford the big red dog? Yeah. Makes sense. That's
one of my favorite books growing up.
I'm pretty witty, if you ask me.
I see that.
The fullback spot, man. There are some positions where you got to be low key off a little bit, and fullback is one of those spots. Like your job is just to blow somebody up. Did you play that in high school? Like, how'd you kind of get into that role?
No, I mean I did some backfield stuff in college, but even like freshman year of college, I think. I don't know, maybe it just looks like I have a screw loose or something, but they stuck me back there freshman year too, and we went in goal line personnel. So I don't know, but I love it, and I think I do have a screw loose.
That's awesome.
So.
I love fullbacks and linebackers. To me, are some of the toughest players on the football field.
Who are the weirdest players on?
We like to
field?
think so.
Yeah. Are tight ends the weirdest players? Like if you had to choose, like, hey, on average, this is the weirdest group in a locker room.
Yeah, tight ends are up there, but it's also the funnest group, so. It's hard to argue with them. Like, you might be a little weird, but you're having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, you're calling people a big red dog.
Boy, that is
Trash
true about
talking.
tight ends, too. 'Cause
No,
remember,
my theory is
we had Luke Wilson here,
Yes.
and Nick Vannett was kind of a bro type
honestly,
of dude.
Jimmy Graham was kind of quirky.
Yeah.
Just quiet, but
Vannett claimed that he saw a ghost in their house.
And you probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
did
doubt
he?
him. Why would he lie? He had no reason to lie.
Yeah, tight ends, little goofy.
They're a little weird.
I love him.
All right. He is, I was going to say Seahawks do it all, but tight end, fullback, special teamer. Again, you guys are absolutely crushing it there. Congratulations. That's worth pointing out.
Well, thanks.
Kind enough to join us. Good luck on Monday night, hosting the Texans here at Lumen Field at 7 p.m. Still to come, we're going to take a listen to the latest from head coach Mike Macdonald, and then we're going to begin our Texans preview. Also coming up in hour 2, Steve Raible going in the trenches with Ray Roberts, and then John Boyle is going to join us. We'll take a look at the injury report. Don't go anywhere. This is The Huddle.
Well, the Blue Jays finally showed up here in the ALCS.
Deep to right field, that ain't coming back. And the Blue Jays now lead it 13-4.
On to Game 4 tonight at T-Mobile, where the Mariners look to bounce back.
This is a team that has done this a lot this year in terms of bouncing back.
And pull within one win of the World Series. First pitch at 5:30. On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports. On 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Do you have a car you want to sell, but you just don't want to go through all the hassle? I don't blame you. With all the scams and security risks out there, more and more people just aren't comfortable selling their own car. So now here you are. You want to get the most money possible for your old car, but you don't want to sell it yourself. So what do? Stacy here with the answer. It's Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your car and pay you right up front for it, but it gets even better because once they resell your old car, they share half the profit with you. The question I get most is obviously, okay, Stacy, but what's the catch? But there isn't one. It's simple. All the money they save by not traveling to buy cars at auction, avoiding those purchase fees and shipping and travel expenses, allows them to offer this deal. They'd much rather share that money with you rather than outside vendors. They encourage you to shop around, but if Wayscar Ford can pay the same or more as competitors and share half their profit with you once they resell your car, why would you go anywhere else? They've already shared over $800,000 with customers. It's only at Wayscar Ford.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Back to the Huddle, only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
game coming up against the Houston Texans. We're ready for some injury updates and a look ahead to how they're preparing for this one. So let's take a listen to the head coach, Mike Macdonald, speaking with reporters now.
Hey, Coach, whether it's yards per play, points per drive, whatever measure, you guys have been more effective on offense with Kenneth Walker out on the field. Curious if he's earning a higher percentage of reps as a result.
Yeah, I mean, we take like stats into account on how effective we are and who's out there, but we have a plan on how we want to use our guys, and both guys are playing high-level football for us. Both guys have things we want to work on. We love both guys. Both guys are to keep playing for us.
I think you said after the Pittsburgh game that the opportunities were there more for Ken than I think were Zach in terms of the blocking.
Yeah.
Have you found that to be the case since then as well?
I haven't thought about it in those terms much since the Pittsburgh game, but I think that might be a fair statement. Yeah, I think it might be a fair statement. And Zach did a lot of our our short yardage carries, like low red zone carries too, where there's not a lot of room.
When you take a look at game planning this week, are we to the point in the season where it's easier because of the sample size and maybe with the Texans, just the crossover opponents that gives some familiarity?
Well, it's never easy game planning. I think it's more we're learning who we are, and so that's streamlining a lot of our decisions in all three phases. So, and that's the way you want it. You know, you don't want to be reinventing the wheel every week. If you're doing that, you're probably searching for answers. So, that's a positive thing.
Their defense is putting up some pretty good numbers. What do you see on that side of the ball that kind of impresses you?
Yeah, it's a hallmark of a D'Amico Ryan's defense. We've seen him a few times when last couple of years when I was in Baltimore, or his first year, I guess. Excuse me. But they play hard. They attack the ball. I think they their pressure system is impressive in all three downs. And they got great players, and they play together, and good sound, attacking, diverse defense. So, good defense.
There's been an emphasis on hiring offensive coaches around the league for a while, and obviously you and D'Amico are both defensive-minded head coaches. What do you think defensive coaches bring that maybe people miss out from an offensive perspective?
To give you a good answer, I'd have to think about it. I just, my pitch was, look, you're hiring me. This is the guy that you're going to have to go to work with for the next, hopefully a lot of years. And this is the vision of what we want to try to create. And it felt like our visions were aligned, and that's what made it so exciting. So I think that happens in all three phases. I mean, you see John Harbaugh, special teams. A lot of times, frankly, the skill set of being a great coordinator doesn't always align with being a great head coach. It's completely different jobs, honestly. So, yeah, I'm glad they chose me.
Mike, both you and Houston are top four and points allowed on defense. What is the mindset that it takes to, not to let opponents score? What is
That's it right there. There's a standard. People don't. It hurts when teams score, man. It's take a lot of pride in doing what you do, and number one thing that wins games is points. But things don't always go your way. There's a resiliency. We use the term relentlessness to it. There's connection involved. You got to play together. You can't have guys making independent decisions on their own. It's all got to be within the framework of the defense and the team. And I don't want to speak for D'Amico, but I feel like they have that there, and I feel like I know we have that here.
When you look at Stingley, the passes defensed in the last couple of years certainly jump off the page. What is it about skill set or technique that you could point to on that?
He was an aggressive player. He's opportunistic, good ball skills, stay square, movement ability is good. He's fast, smart. He's a great all-around corner. Does a great job.
Mike, free agency can be a little hit or miss. You're talking about guys coming to new schemes, new teams, new locker rooms, all that. In one offseason, to be able to get Sam, Cooper, D-Law, what they've added to this team, just how maybe rare and helpful is that to get those kind of guys in one free agency?
Well, yeah, I'm very extremely helpful excited that we have them, and I'm thankful for the relationships that we had. I'm thinking of AD with DeMarcus, Coop with Jake Peets, Clint with, so Clint with Sam. So like I think those prior relationships are important, understanding, who you're bringing in to your organization. So, and our personnel side does a phenomenal job of, and I think as we're going here, aligning about having a shared understanding about how we want to operate, who we want to be on our team, all that type of stuff. I think that's helped the whole process over the last year.
All three of those guys seem to have taken on pretty big leadership roles. Is that hard for a guy coming in normally after years in another place to step in?
I think it's kind of just reflective of who they are. I've been around great players that were free agent acquisitions that weren't leaders because that was more their personality, but they were extremely helpful to the team, and been around guys that have come in and, I'm thinking of the guys we've acquired, thinking of the guys like Roquan and Eric Weddle that they came right in, and Ernest from, even though it was a trade, but it's really the same idea.
Back to the running backs, Mike. What do you like about Charbonnet as 2-minute back?
What do I like about Charbonnet as a what?
The 2-minute back in a 2-minute drill.
Oh yeah, he's got great hands, great with the protections, decisive. And Ken can do those things too. It's not like a either or type of thing, but I think Zach's excellent at it.
The Texans have the highest explosive pass rate against zone coverage, and they're next to last against man coverage. I'm curious, what makes an offense explosive against zone versus man?
I think there's several answers. A lot of teams hunt man. They hunt certain type of zones, so you have to have a feeling for how they're operating and what you do well too. I mean, if teams are great against the blitz or great against 4-man rush, it's not like we're just not going to 4-man rush. Or if they're not good versus the blitz by the stats, doesn't mean that you get what I'm saying. So I think that's one way. I mean, sometimes it's just simple as they got great receivers that can separate and work down the field. Which is, I think, the case sometimes with the Texans. They do a good job, and the quarterback throws accurate ball, and they protect them. Similar to when you see explosive plays with our offense, those are common threads on what creates explosive plays. But zones too. I mean, by definition, zones have holes. So it's about finding those things, and quarterback needs time. You got to have the right thing dialed up, that sort of thing.
Drake Thomas has seemed to really kind of emerge the last couple of weeks, and the sack he had the other day. Just how have you kind of seen that, I guess, him grow to? It seems like he's now just basically an every down player for you guys.
Yeah, I think Drake's story is really awesome. I mean, we showed up, and our personnel people had a really high opinion of him. He was a player that I wasn't familiar with before we got here, and he's injured at the beginning of last year, but he's a guy. He's an example of a guy that came back early from his injury because of how hard he worked, how he attacked the process, and he's the same guy every day. He's 100%. He's all in. He's attention detailed. He understands adjustments, understands game plans. He's tough as nails. I think he's a good athlete. Does a lot of positive things. I mean, he's made a lot of plays on special teams. But this is the guy that we saw all offseason too. When players tell you who they are, believe them.
You made on the tackle for the sack, get some good reaction when you showed it to the team?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, the guys were fired up about that one. That was cool.
Do you like how those snap counts are looking for Drake, or would you like to get T. Knight in there a little bit more, or do you like the consistency?
Yeah, these things, I mean, they're never set in stone. I feel like we've proven that over the last couple of years. It's always who we feel like is going to give us the best chance to win for that moment. But a great example with Tyrese is he went into the game after Drake. I think he hurt his finger, and they ran a trap pass right behind him in cover 3. It was a great reaction. Played underneath the trap pass. I think we either got a sack or a tackle on that play for no gain. And it's a great example of being ready, staying ready, coming in, playing to the standard when we go out there. So both guys are deserving of playing time, but right now, Drake's playing great football.
Thomas, what's the value in the locker room to seeing a guy like that earn his playing time that way?
Well, we believe in development here. We've said this multiple times, but players are allowed to get better and improve, and they can come from anywhere. And if you're going to put yourself in a position to help us win, then we're going to play you.
I'm sorry, with Eman Wara, you said that he plays, I can't remember how you worded it, but he plays like your style of football. Are you talking about mentality-wise?
Yeah, it's hard to shake him, and he plays physically. I mean, that pops up on tape. He just kind of naturally goes. He's not a timid player. He's an aggressive player. He's a decisive player, and he wants to be really good, which makes him a fun player to have on your team and a fun guy to work with every day.
In the few weeks that he's been out there now, have you seen growth in his ability to just like kind of cut it loose and not? Yeah,
that's an area that's going to come with more reps and experience and more confidence and all that type of stuff. But I get it. He's very conscientious. He wants to be doing it right, which you appreciate. And he'll learn to make some decisions a little faster in real time as he goes. But it's not like the guy's just like standing out there. I mean, the guy's playing really well for us. It's just we're chasing edges here. We're trying to take it to the next level.
Is Spoon going to practice today?
He'll be out there. Yeah.
What about Julian?
Yeah.
Julian will be out there.
How about Raible?
Reek will be out there. It's a fun game.
What about Jarran? Any update on him? Jarran Reed?
To my knowledge, Jay Reed's good.
Coming up next, voice of the Seahawks, Steve Raible joins us. This is the Huddle.
Hawks Live. Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks safety Ty Okada.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Rain is coming. Is your roof ready? The rainy season is approaching fast, Seattle, and 3 Tree Roofing has your roof replacement covered. Get $500 off by scheduling your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com. Their professional installers guarantee a seamless replacement this rainy season. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
At Bible Law Group, we understand when your legal problems hit biblical levels. That's why you can't wait 20 years to make the playoffs. You need help in court now. With James Bible and his team by your side, don't panic when the giants you're facing seem 10 feet tall, or when you feel trapped in a lion's den of litigation. At Bible Law Group, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. When your legal problems are biblical, contact Bible Law and let our talented team get to work. No matter the case, find us at BibleLawGroup.com.
Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years of living in our home, our window seals started breaking. That's when I called Harley Exteriors. They're huge fans of our teams and regular listeners at the station, but what really sold me was their Olympic Series windows, built right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. They're beautiful windows that last up to 60 years, and they'll help with noise, too. Harley Exteriors knows you've been spending a ton on playoff tickets, so they have a special deal for Seattle sports listeners. No interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off. And take another $200 off your entire project. They're the friendliest team and so easy to work with. You call the number and the person on the other line asks, "How can I make you smile today?" Just give them a ring and tell them you heard our ad. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization, that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
With over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Huh. Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest. Come with no charge.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? It's true. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural and it works. I was finding that my clothes didn't fit as well, so I jumped on the program. I lost 35 pounds in 60 days. It was very safe and a healthy plan.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope, because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Open enrollment for Medicare is underway. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man here. Get organized now with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's SHIBA program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. This is the Huddle.
The handoff inside. He's Sherman. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Exclusively on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app with hosts Michael Bumpus, Stacy Rost, and Dave Wyman.
You don't focus. You go get it.
Time to go inside the Huddle.
The Seahawks, Steve Raible, joining us now in person. Did you guys miss each other? Did you not have enough time apart? Can't wait for Monday.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
You both look
around
so happy to be
Yeah,
next to each other again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long you've been in broadcasting, but he couldn't find the on button. I think he was on the other side of it, and it said no.
Yeah.
To him. That one's eliminated.
It's a different kind of control thing. A different box I didn't recognize.
Well, you usually have somebody push that button for you.
That's what they get paid for, by golly.
Well, let's start with the importance of the Seahawks getting a win. As we continue the conversation, Rabes, I'm sure we'll get to JSN's big day and the defense getting 7 sacks, and all of that's important. But actually, Wyman pointed this out early. Also very, very important was just getting a win and being able to turn that around quickly and stop any kind of potential for, bleeding after that loss to the Bucs. What's that do for this team to be able to head to the East Coast, pick up a win, then head back home refreshed?
It's pretty amazing. And somebody asked Mike earlier today, listen, you can win on the road. How do you bottle that up and bring it home so you can win here at Lumen Field? And, well, if it was like that button on that little machine right there, you just smash that button down and hold it, and you keep doing it all the time. But it doesn't work that way. The good thing about going on the road and winning, however you do it, whatever your process is for being on the road, the bottom line is you went into another team's house. That team was playing pretty good football. That team had a lot of things going for it. They protected their quarterback. They were able to make some big plays. They were a big takeaway team. None of that happened. Mm-hmm. And that's because of the way you played as a football team on offense, defense, and special teams. And I got to think, how Mike talks about stacking wins and stacking practices. I really have a very strong feeling that stacking that Tampa Bay loss and saying, look at what we did not do right. We didn't tackle worth a darn. We didn't do a lot of things right. We were out of position. I had a game plan that was, too much perhaps for trying to control them. And we cut that down, and we focused on what we needed to do, and we go on the road and we win a big game. So I just think it was a great effort and a great stepping stone to get to this Monday night game. And then you have another week off with the bye week. Mm-hmm. Get some of those guys healthy. We still don't know if we're going to see any of the guys who are banged up yet, and we've proven that we can win a football game without them, football games without them. Let's hope though that we get them back.
Yeah, that was an amazing turnaround, and it just seems like they got things. Like you were saying earlier, that like Macdonald, when he gets pissed,
Yeah.
I feel like things get fixed no matter what, right? Because after giving up over 400 yards and 38 points, I mean that was ridiculous, and it doesn't matter, that to him anyway, that you have your two probably best players that are out in Spoon and Love, but he just seems like he's just very decisive and just makes. Like anytime you see a performance like that, you can almost expect the very next week it's going to be.
And he talks about it. He really is one of those guys that walks the walk, talks the talk, and walks the walk. He says we didn't play our brand of football, and his brand of football, especially defensively, is recognition, play smart, be physical, more physical than the other guys, which includes sure tackling, right angles, all those things that you need to teach. And, a good head coach takes responsibility for that. He says, I obviously didn't do a good enough job preparing him for that game because we didn't do many of those things right. And you come back and you did virtually everything right against Jacksonville. And you're going to have to keep it at that level because there are no easy, there's no hit and misses here. There's no easy team that you play during the course of the year. Houston is a good football team, just as capable as anybody else of coming up and knocking you off.
You might have just answered that question, or the question I'm going to ask you. You get to talk to Mike every week, and in this business, you have candid conversations before the tape is rolling. Has he ever just walked into the room and said, "Yep, we got it done. I'm completely satisfied with our team's performance"?
Oh, Lord. When I hear that, you will be the first to know because that will be the revelation.
He'll say, I'm guessing you have no questions, Steve.
Exactly. No, he is forever that guy that, and again, another one of his phrases, chasing edges. He is always looking for that next thing that we have to do to improve. How do I get these guys in this right position? Is it my scheme? Do I need to do something different? How can I teach this differently? What message can I give to my assistant coaches that they can take to the guys out there on the field? No, he's never said, we got it figured out. And I'm guessing he never will. And he's a young coach. What is he, 37? My God, I got loafers there. I got loafers there.
I got him by a year, so I think
is that right?
Oh,
you young, oh, you kids.
He's older than me.
Oh, you kids.
Still got it.
But he is really focused on those things. I will tell you though, and I'm not going to tell you what he said, but he has also sat down and not been terribly happy about the way practice went, or and he's not going to share all the details with me, but he'll say, this is. I expect this to be the case, and I didn't see that today, or I saw more of something than I wanted to see, and it wasn't a good thing. And it just shows you, it's always amazed me. Head coaches have like 7 eyes, and they're all over the top of their head and the side of their head. They can just see everything that's going on. I had a coach in college, Pepper Rogers, who used to go up on the tower and sleep. Especially during two-a-days. He'd go up and sleep through the morning practice because he'd had a couple pops the night before. And so he'd go up and lay down on the tower. And so we just, we'd go through practice and it'd be fine. But I've never been around a head coach that is just so in tune with everybody, everywhere. Yeah. Pete was that way. He saw everything around the field. Head coaches are amazing. Yeah.
So we were having a conversation, Bump and I, the other day. We were talking about the Tennessee Titans, frankly, and Brian Callahan being let go, Mike McDaniel under a lot of pressure, and this is less a question about them. But we were talking about, okay, well, what makes a good head coach then? Like sometimes you're just in a tough situation where, like, if you get another stint or another chance, you end up really flourishing, and maybe that's what happens with with either Brian or anyone else who unfortunately, might need to find another opportunity this year. But then we were wondering like, okay, well, what makes some guys get it? Is that maybe the first quality you think of? Like, what makes someone, when you think of intangible characteristics, this is something that every great head coach I've covered or played for had. What would be one of them?
Vision. The vision they have. And the ability of that coach or that coaching prospect to enunciate that vision to the guy who's about to hire him. John Schneider knows coaches across the breadth of the league, head coaches all the way down to coaching assistants. That's his job. And so when it was time for him to find someone for the next step in this organization, he's looking for somebody that has that vision that is in tune with him. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the things that the coach has to have. Yeah, you got the stats behind you, but the coach isn't out there on the field. He's putting guys in a position to make plays, but he had great football players at Baltimore. I mean, let's face it, they had fabulous guys there, and the guys that were maybe a little bit too old, he still found a way to get those guys to play at their best levels because of the way he utilized them in his scheme. But it's that vision of, what do I want to be as a football team? What do we want to be? How are we going to do this? How are we going to teach it? How are we going to execute it? I think that's the biggest thing that a coach has to have, is vision and the ability to wear Sansabelt slacks.
Oh, those are a bad look, man.
Some guys just can't wear those. Others of us can really look pretty good in
Nobody
Sansabelt.
looked good.
Honestly,
Okay.
I wish that I could ask all of you this question and just continue talking about it forever. This is the most fascinating topic to me, and I wish that we could continue it with both of you too. But instead, we have to kick you out of here because you have a busy day.
What is it?
Remember the qualities that a great head coach has, or a bad head coach. Because to me, sometimes I wonder, like, did this guy just not get a fair shot, or does he not have it?
Yeah.
And what is it?
Yeah.
I
guess you know it when you see it,
I guess. I mean, I don't know. So I've been thinking, this is so dumb. We don't cover this team, but I've been thinking about Brian Callahan all week, just going like, well, what is it that someone might not have? Everyone knows X's and O's. Right. Everyone's smart. Right. But some guys just can't.
Well, and I know you got to go,
Yeah,
but
okay.
it's also where is he? What is he stepping into?
Right.
What is the situation? What did the previous administration leave him? No quarterback. Now he's got a first-string quarterback who's a D1 quarterback, first draft choice. But is he actually ready to play? Do they have the people around him, the receivers, the running backs?
Usually
all that?
no.
And that's the tough thing. Mike walked into a pretty good situation here, and John made it a whole hell of a lot better with the people he just brought in from top to bottom. So, that's a large part of the issue as well.
Rabes, we always love having you. Thank you
Thank
again
you,
for
kids.
joining us.
Lovely to be in your great place here.
AJ Barner had a 61-yard reception in this one. Has a great start to the season. He's speaking with reporters next, and we'll take you there. That's coming up on the Huddle.
It's the Hawks Player Spotlight.
Tight end A.J. Barner is with us. How are you, man?
Doing well. It's good to be on here.
Brought to you by Three Tree Roofing.
The rookie on this O-line, Raible, is with us.
Sam is an elite quarterback.
Going deep with a different Hawks player every day at 3:30 with Wyman and Bob on Seattle Sports.
Every time he walks into the huddle, we know we got a chance for a big play.
Nick Eamon-Wari is with us.
I felt good physically going into the game.
Catch up on every Hawks Spotlight on Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
The LJ way is.
You look at stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to come into an industry and work on a place that is going to compromise how I feel about myself. I get to go to work every day with good people, and I get to enjoy what I do because I'm out there just trying to do right by people I care about, which is our community. We're going to see them at the grocery store. I'm going to see them at the sports tournaments. Two friends of our daughters came in last night just on the lot, didn't know I was there, and it was cool because you got to take them through, and they're going to buy a car for their first driver and a car for their kid going to school soon. These are the people that you're going to work with, and so you better make sure that your laundry's clean. I don't think Lee Johnson specifically, right, Speedway Chevrolet, where I'm at, I don't think they've ever had a problem with the community of being able to stand up and look them in the eye and know that they did their job well.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang, that one little ad does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Where you hear the AL West champion Mariners in the ALCS, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app. Back to the Huddle, only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Darnold under center. Darnold's going to roll left. Has time. Look, steps up, throws back. Wide open Barner. Makes the catch 40, 30. Cuts back inside 25, 20. Cuts back outside. Look out. Barner goes down at the 12-yard line. Are you kidding me? Everybody rolls left. Barner, A.J. Barner, goes back to the right side, and I mean he was open all day for a 61-yarder. Kubiak has pulled out of his bag of tricks a big play right when he needs it.
Oh, what a play. Tight end A.J. Barner leading the Seahawks in touchdowns this season. Also coming off a big game in Jacksonville, talking with reporters ahead of a big Monday night game. Let's take a listen.
Got a primetime game at home.
Personally, I love playing on prime time, Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. Get the whole nation watching. Playing at night's always special, especially in Lumen, so I think everyone's excited about it.
When you think about game planning and knowing what to expect, at this point in the season, is it a little bit easier just with sample size?
Yeah, no, I would say so. I mean, you have plenty of games on film, but you always need to be aware of different change-ups that people are going to throw at this point. But yeah, I think personnel, you know what you're going to get to different personnel groupings. But those things can change throughout the game, and that's what we have to be prepared for.
On Cooper's crossing route where he caught an explosive pass, you sold it to the linebacker, drew him up. Is that something that you came into the league kind of knowing how to sell those play action, or did you learn anything?
I think it's the O-line and, myself just getting downhill on that play. I was in a fullback alignment, and, that just helps, running the rock the way that we do and committing to the run game. It helps sell those things. And Coop was able to get open, and Sam had a great play fake. So not really anything special that I did. I think any of our fullbacks could do that, or tight ends. And that's just the way our coaches coached it, so kudos to them.
We've heard a lot of stories from Mike, from other players about Cooper and just like how smart he is football-wise.
Yeah.
Helping coach out and all that. What have you noticed just in your interaction?
Yeah. The biggest thing is I think success leaves clues, and Cooper's in here at 5 a.m., in the morning. First car you see in the parking lot, I know he's up in that film room watching film. Been in the league for a long time now and has seen a bunch of things and is a really smart player. And it's nice for us young guys to be able to, pick his brain and ask questions. But, like I said, the proof's in the pudding with Cooper, and he's a pro, so.
Anything particular stand out when you picked his brain that's really helped you?
More so, I'll ask questions, but I like to watch, just watching on film, and Coop's a perfect person to try and emulate. And I think it was kind of the same thing with Locke last year. Whenever you watch Locke on film, you see different stuff that he did to get open in his later years here, which was cool to see. And obviously Cooper has that as well.
I'm sure you go up against Drake Thomas a lot in practice. What's he like as a player?
Yeah, Drake's physical player. Took a ton of reps in camp, and I think it's really paying off for him. Versatile guy, played really well at NC State, and he's a competitor too. He knows his job, works extremely hard. So I think Drake is, reaping the benefits of that.
Statistically, this is one of the better defenses you'll probably see all year.
Yeah.
What jumps out when you look at them?
Yeah, they got real physical players. I think the back end has popped on tape. The guys up front too, 51, 55, 0 linebacker. They got talented players. So it's an exciting challenge for us. Something that I'm really looking forward to, and it'll be a great opportunity. Obviously, their head coach is a defensive guy as well, so it'll be a great opportunity.
When you've got a guy like Stingley, you talk about the back end of that defense popping, and how proficient he has been at defending passes. What becomes the message to you guys as pass catchers when you know that that's what he does?
Yeah, he's one of those guys on the perimeter, so I think that's, the receivers. Me too, obviously, but I think, just maybe picking up on tendencies in the film, knowing what coverages that they're going to play, knowing when you think you might get the matchup with him, if he's playing to the boundary, if he's playing to the field. But, he got drafted very high, one of the best corners in the league, and he'll have to deal with our receivers too, though. So, it'll be a good matchup for all of them.
Bringing a new quarterback in is always kind of unknown for a team. How quickly did you realize, okay, Sam Darnold's got it, we're in good hands here?
Yeah. Last year, I think he had an incredible season last year. 3rd pick of the draft, so that he has all the intangibles to be a great quarterback. And as everyone is starting to find out in the league, it's really about what's surrounding that position, organization, players, scheme. So all that is in place here, and Sam's doing a great job of doing his job and doing it at a very high level.
When that play call got made toward the end of the game on your big catch, when did you know it was going to work? Did you know it was going to work in the huddle? Did you know it was going to work
in the huddle. I think anytime you get a play call like that, it's I'm going to make it work. But once we had the look with the safety and I kind of knew who I was playing off of, felt confident about it. And, yeah, I think that's, the mindset whenever you hear one of those plays. It's like, all right, like, let me get an opportunity. And that was the case there.
Is kind of the idea of that play, maybe you catch the defense thinking that you're just going to be in 4-minute mode trying to run the game?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially the timing of the play, right? Like, you're trying to run out the clock there. Maybe base down. We had been running the ball a lot and was able to sell that run action. And up to that point in the game, I hadn't really been down the field too much. So it was just a great call at that point in the game and well-executed play.
When's the last time you had a play that lasted that long?
My sophomore year at Indiana, I had a 76-yard touchdown against Idaho. So against the Jaguars in the NFL is probably a little better, but no touchdown. But I mentioned, I think it was Greg, people knocked my 40 time coming out. And maybe if I had a better 40 time, I'd be able to keep it up the sideline, but I'll take 61.
How cognizant, on a long run like that, how much you have to be aware of, like, what's coming behind you? Like,
Yeah.
I noticed on the replay, you covered the last minute, but
Yeah.
how much you have to be aware of guys coming to try to punch it out?
Very aware. I think, we watch those clips, and especially in camp of just guys punching out the ball from behind. And, when you're trying to take off down the sidelines, it might be a little easier to have some air in the ball because you're trying to, really run faster. So just keeping it glued to your chest, I think is very important. And especially at that point in the game too, it's like once we get down there in that range, like the last thing you want to do is turn the ball over. So those are just kind of like, habits that you create in the off season. It just becomes second nature.
You've mentioned the 40 time now a couple of times.
Yeah.
Looking back now that you've gone through it,
Yeah.
how overinflated is that in the pre-draft
Yeah,
process?
I mean, it's important, and mine's definitely not the fastest, but I don't think it's maybe nearly. I mean, it really just depends on the guy, too. Like, I think everyone is deceptive in whatever way that they want to be or use their speed. And for me, I think I can reach my top speed, pretty quickly, and it is, somewhat fast, but I'm just never a guy that's really, a burner per se.
Before they drafted you, did the Seahawks bring that up at all? Or
Not really, but it's kind of something that I've been aware of, like, but I mean, quite frankly, too, like, I'm not slow by any means, so, but that's just the tight end position in itself, and you find different ways to use your skill set, and I think that's important for any player in the league, is just, like, not really, like taking things to emulate, but also, too, just, like, buying into what you're good at, so that's what I've been doing.
You guys got a little extra time off this week. What's an ideal off day for you?
Really just a lot of recovery, film for sure, but just trying to do something outside. Like I was in Seattle earlier this week, getting out, maybe getting some nature, just try and be normal as I can. But honestly, football's on my mind a lot, so definitely that. But it kind of depends on the day too. I'm getting better at scheduling stuff now and being an adult, but it used to be just like I'm gonna wake up whenever I wake up and get out of bed and do whatever. So now off days are a bit more structured.
Going back to the 40 stuff, did you play at the Senior Bowl?
I did.
It seems like now teams are starting to pay attention to the GPS speeds.
Yeah.
So do you guys wear those in your own college before you get to the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think, that game speed's a little different than your speed without the pads on. So I was at the Senior Bowl, and they did track that stuff. So it's kind of interesting analytics. So.
Do you wear those in your own college games too?
Yeah, in game and practice, all that.
Did every Michigan player, or do you got the choice to do it?
Everyone. I think, at the big schools, everyone. So.
Why'd you start making your days more structured?
Just honestly better for, myself, start making some plays. You get a little more busy. But just trying to be more of an adult, just trying to grow and, have a bit of a support staff around me and really be more of a pro on and off the field and structure all the things with my diet, my recovery, and just the outside stuff that I might want to do as well. So, yeah, I'm learning to do that.
Let's learn a bit more about the Houston Texans Monday night's opponent. An opponent preview coming your way next.
Start having fun.
Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Do you have a car you want to sell, but you just don't want to go through all the hassle? With all the scams and security risks out there, more and more people just aren't comfortable selling their own car. So how do you get the most money for your used car without having to sell it yourself? Stacy here with the answer. It's Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your car and pay you right up front for it, but it gets way better. Once they resell your old car, they share half that profit with you. The question I get most from friends and colleagues is, well, what's the catch? How can they offer this? It's actually super simple. All the money they save by not traveling to buy cars at auctions, like purchase fees, shipping, and travel expenses, is what allows them to offer this. They'd rather share that money they save with you rather than outside vendors. They encourage you to shop around, but look, if Wayscar Ford can pay the same or more as competitors and then share half their profit with you once they resell your car, why would you sell your car anywhere else? They've already shared over $800,000 with their customers, and it's only at Wayscar Ford. Wayscarford.com. Check them out today, wayscarford.com.
You're losing your hair, and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors.
Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
Back to the Huddle, only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
All right. Guys, before we bring on John Boyle coming up at about 45, let's look ahead to the Houston Texans. I'll tell you what matchup I'm especially interested in. That of the number 4 passing offense in Seattle against one of the league's best pass defenses and the team that is leading the league in fewest points allowed per game. Bump, I'll start with you for this one, but let's talk about this for most of this segment, guys, because I feel like this is not the first game, certainly not the first game where Sam Darnold and the offense is going to get tested, but it will be a massive test. Is there kind of something you're looking at here, early things you'll be watching?
I'm looking at if they can, the Seahawks defense, continue to do what they did last week and just disrupt what Stroud has going on. Because I'm watching film, and he's having himself a good year. No one's talking about him because his numbers aren't great. 1,000 yards. He's completing 70% of his passes, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But he's not like kind of flashing when it comes to the numbers, right? And the Ravens have a 2-3 right now, I believe. Lost 3, won the last 2 games.
Yep.
There's nothing really sexy about them offensively yet. When you watch the film, Stroud is playing some good ball. He's
Why aren't
on
they
point.
scoring?
He's accurate. They're just stalling out. But him himself is playing some good ball. Okay. So I'm just looking to see if they can continue what they did last week. It's hard to ask for 17 hits, quarterback hits. I'm not going to ask for that. It's hard to ask for what they have, 7 sacks last week.
Mm-hmm.
7 sacks. It's hard to do that. But just mess up his timing because when he has time, he's accurate.
Yeah, I thought C.J. Stroud was my favorite quarterback coming out that year, and I love him. Had him on my fantasy team last year. But no, I mean, yeah, you're right, Stacy. Something's got to give as far as the defense, right? I mean, you look at their pass defense is really good. I mean, there's a difference between what we get passing the ball and what they give up of about 75 yards. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Sam can continue to take steps. And then again, like we talked about in the beginning, I would love to see and I don't know if maybe it's not going to happen until we get our fullback back, Robbie Oots. But I would love to see a 150 to 200 yard rushing performance. It would just make me feel a lot better. But I think they've done a good job of sort of taking what the defense has given them.
It's funny you said, why aren't they scoring?
Mm-hmm. No, genuinely.
Yeah. 21 points per game puts you at 22nd in the league. The Hawks are scoring 27, 6 points more, and they're 5th in the league.
However, let me also say, any Texans fan listening would be very upset with me for doing this. If you take away their complete route of a bad Ravens team that's 1-5 right now, which they scored 44 points, they're averaging 16 points per game.
Yeah.
So again, it's not fair. It is really, it's like, imagine you take away the 30.
Stacey?
Yeah, if you took away the 35 points that the Seahawks put up against the Bucks, you know what I mean? It's not that much of a drop off, but it is notable to me, even if they've improved, and I do think they have. It is hard for me to ignore the first 3 games of the season where you were averaging maybe 10 points a game, and then you did well against a horrible Titans team that fired its head coach after that game.
Yep.
And then against the Ravens.
How dare you, Stacy?
One of the worst defenses in the league right now. You drop 44, and that's amazing. And maybe they're getting into the swing of things. And far be it from me. I've watched too many upsets. Yeah. Far be it from me to ever look at a team and go, I don't know. I mean, the AFC South right now is 3rd in wins.
It's too much logic coming up.
16 points per game. 16,
too much logic.
16 points per game. Tell me if I'm right. Tell me if you guys think I'm right with this one. If the Seahawks can score 20, I think they win.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the same thing because and I went and looked up the Raven numbers. I mean, they're between 25 and 30 in pretty much every defensive statistic. So, but I just think this is a game that's more about the Seahawks and more about them continuing to do the right things, man. I love hearing from Rabes that, Mike Macdonald lit him up a little bit. There were some plays. I did a football 1-on-1 breakdown. It was mostly about D-Law, but it was one of the first 2 or 3 plays where D-Law, first of all, reads the screen. He senses the tackle is, trying to peel off. And then you've got Eamon Morey coming up on the outside, and then you've got Kobe filling in the middle. And it's like at one point it's frozen, and there's like a triangle around, the player. And that's the kind of stuff that is so basic and so simple, but it drives me crazy when the edge guy doesn't turn the play back in. It's the most fundamental thing ever. And I saw Boye do that the other day. He just, he has contain, and then all of a sudden it's just like, I don't have contain anymore. Why not? Why not? That's that's the easiest thing that you can do. And I can understand. I get frustrated watching that. And that Tampa Bay game, I thought was the most frustrating game I've seen in a long time, the Seahawks play.
I was leaving the game thinking like, okay, maybe it's just personnel. Bump and I were talking about it on the show. And I was like, maybe it's like 60-40, 70-30, just you don't have the guys. But at a certain point, you guys are former players, so I know that you're going to be like, at a certain point, it's on the player.
Yeah, you have to make plays. And personnel matters. 2s are 2s for a reason. 3s are 3s. We understand that.
Right.
But be where you're supposed to be, and you might have an opportunity to make a play. I think that's what it comes down to.
How do you make a play against this Texans defense?
Man, I'm really impressed. I don't know if you saw it too, Dave. Their linebackers just fly downhill. I mean, it was fun to watch Henry and who's the middle linebacker?
Al-Shair.
Yeah, I was scared to say
Aziz Al-Shair.
I was scared to say it. I was going to make you do it.
This is going to be a long day for me.
You got it, Wyman.
Those guys, and what was impressive to me too, Dave, is that they're flying around, they're making plays, yet neither of their linebackers lead the league or even in top 10 or 15 when it comes to tackles.
Oh, that's cool.
But I'm watching them fly around, and it was fun to watch. So, their LBs are fun.
Even though I butchered his name, I love watching Aziz Al-Shair. I think ever since he was with the 49ers, and then To'o, pretty good, fun to watch as well. So, I was defending him when he hit Trevor Lawrence last year. Just because,
of course you were,
typical.
Because somebody was like, "Well, when you see the forum come up, it's this," and I'm like, that's also like a protection thing.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Go in there face first? No, you're going to put something up in the way. And I thought that's what it was. But that guy will hit you now. He is, and he does fly around like you said.
All right, Monday Night Football. Texans come into town. Let's continue our preview with John Boyle next on the Huddle.
The one and only Mark Schlereth. Every Monday at 4 during the NFL season with Wyman and Bob.
Trevor Lawrence gets sacked 7 times in this game.
When you start kind of moving guys around, you had a great rotation with a bunch of, guys that came off the bench like Mafi and all those guys. And then they kept putting Leonard Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence on the same side. I think Mike Macdonald did a really good job of attacking.
On Seattle Sports, on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years of living in our home, our window seals started breaking. That's when I called Harley Exteriors. They're huge fans of our teams and regular listeners at the station, but what really sold me was their Olympic Series windows, built right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. They're beautiful windows that last up to 60 years, and they'll help with noise, too. Harley Exteriors knows you've been spending a ton on playoff tickets, so they have a special deal for Seattle sports listeners. No interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off. And take another $200 off your entire project. They're the friendliest team and so easy to work with. You call the number and the person on the other line asks, "How can I make you smile today?" Just give them a ring and tell them you heard our ad. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king. With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge. He wants more, he's got to have more. More bedtime true crime. More podcasts in the shower. Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More. Fast internet speed. He's got the geeks to go big. Bring him the games. Right now. And his royal we. More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
Back to the Huddle, only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
John Boyle, reporter for Seahawks.com, joining us right now. And Boyle, great to see this team get another win on the road. I mean, no disrespect to the Jags with what I'm about to say, but this Houston Texans defense is amazing. They are number one in limiting opponent points. And if you added a couple more, they'd still be number one. That's how good they are this year. What is a good offensive performance against them? Because it's not going to look quite the same as some other ones.
I mean, like 42 points, 450.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
5 touchdowns.
Look, this is the type of game when you look at these defenses, like, do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
If that's like, if it's a weird game and the score gets higher than we think it'll be, and you need to sling it around and get 30 points, you got to do that. If it's control the clock, run the ball. I mean, I'd say any week it starts with not turning the ball over. We saw that in Jacksonville. That was the defense that led the league in takeaways, and the Seahawks didn't turn it over. So it's, just a classic whatever it takes kind of game. You hopefully run the ball better. That's always a great place to start. But, yeah, I mean, to me, it's just scrap it out however you have to.
I guess we should just learn to expect that if we have a crappy performance defensively, the next week it's going to get fixed. It just seems like that happens so often, and I think it's, they were pretty fundamental things. But, yeah, I mean, I guess it shouldn't be a surprise anymore, though. Mike just is so decisive, and it seems like he gets that whatever's wrong fixed.
Yeah, I mean, we heard him. He was pretty hard on himself after the game against Tampa Bay, and they cleaned up a lot of things. They tackled a lot better. They obviously got that pass rush going, which when you're missing guys on the back end, which they were for both those games, when you're getting home and pressuring the quarterback, that goes a long way. So, yeah, I mean, just everybody stepped up and got better, coaching included. Mike, was quick to point that out. Like, we had to put them in better positions, and we did that.
Nicky Mawari had an effect on the game. What'd you see out of him? What do you like?
I mean, he's fast. All the things you expect. Fast, physical. He looked decisive. I mean, just so many plays, they're trying to stretch it out, and he's just right there to snuff it out. So considering how little he's really played because of that injury, he's off to a great start.
That was his first real game back, right? Last week?
He had, he came back the week before, and has it been 3 games back now? But he's kind of working his playing time up. Yeah. That was the first game. He was on the field almost every snap. They were living in big nickel in that game, and that might be matchup related. We might not see him play that much every week, but he looked awfully good.
Yeah. Is there a group on defense that you think is going to face maybe a little more pressure against this Houston offense? Obviously, every single week, the whole defense. But
to me, it's if you can. I think the secondary could be that group, but A, we don't know who's back yet, which makes a difference. And B, like, how can that pass rush do that? The offensive line for Houston has been giving up a little bit of pressure. I think C.J. Stroud's been sacked multiple times in every game. So if your pass rush is anything close to what it was, then that takes a lot of stress off. But they do got some playmakers. We've seen C.J. Stroud, very good, accurate downfield passer. So if, that's probably where I'd worry about them getting stressed. I mean, look, every team's going to try to run the ball, and the Seahawks have been so good run defense-wise. It's like no disrespect to an opponent, but I've kind of stopped looking at the run game as like the big stressor to me, just because their run defense has been so good.
Yeah.
I feel like the rest of the NFL all knows about A.J. Barner now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think the thing that's most underappreciated about him is his blocking. His blocking is really good, and he's got a great sense for, like, one of the things I see him do a lot is he holds, because they all cheat
Everyone
on offense.
holds.
They all hold.
We're taught to hold.
No, it's exactly right.
It's knowing how to hold so you don't get a flag.
Yeah,
There's degrees of holding.
It's when to let go.
Yeah.
And that's the thing he does. He's got great timing that way. And you're going to get held in the NFL. I remember my linebacker coach was like, don't ever come to me and tell me that you got held, because it's up to you to, take care of
Get
it.
unheld.
But yeah, I mean, exactly. And I think AJ, yeah, it just seems like, he's now got the numbers, and I think people are starting to wake up to the fact that this is a guy who I think he looks like he could be a top 5 tight end.
Yeah, I mean, he legit is putting himself in that conversation of being, maybe not the best tight end in the league quite yet, but being in that upper echelon where you're talking, is he a Pro Bowl or is he this and that? And it's, the numbers are showing up offensively, but he's been a really big part of their pass protection, of their run game. And I think the type of physical player he is and the blocker he is helping create some of these. He's a guy like, wow, why is he so wide open? It's because he's selling blocks on these plays. He's chipping guys where it's like he gets unaccounted for because he looks like he's part of a pass protection or part of a run blocking on a play action, and boom, he leaks out for a big play.
Cooper Kupp, man, he's doing exactly what I thought he was going to do. But how important was it for him to touch the paint?
Yeah, I mean, he's been. Maybe fans just look at his history and think like, oh, he's underperforming because the numbers aren't there. But, man, he's just about every time the ball's come his way, he's made a play. Great yard after catch. Like we've seen, that 29-yarder in the game was big. And I think I've made this point before. It was like what he's doing for this team Monday through Saturday that fans aren't seeing is so big. I mean, you talk to coaches, you talk to players, and, everyone's just blown away by this guy. The work ethic, just how smart he is. Like, Mike Macdonald's picking his brain like he's an offensive coordinator. And so it's like, having that guy who, oh, by the way, is still really productive, it's big. But, yeah, for him personally, I'm sure it's nice. Like, hey, I'm going to get one in the end zone and make some plays. That's good. Good to have the reward come on Sunday.
Did I tell that story? I'm sorry, Stacy. Did I tell on the air, or were we off, where I was talking about Cooper Kupp, and he was talking to Aiden Dirty?
I think we were off.
Yeah. I was getting like a late snack or whatever, and it's the night before the game. And there he is on the table. There's nobody else in the room, and it's just Cooper Kupp just peppering him with questions.
Yeah.
The defensive coordinator.
Yeah. No, and I guarantee you the defense coordinator is coming right back with questions because, I mean, being in that system he's been in and playing the level of football he has, he knows a lot of stuff that can help a defensive coach.
Yeah. That may be part of your answer then. That meme of we need to find out who's responsible, or you can't keep getting away with this. That's how I feel about JSN, where I'm like, the Seahawks now are going into games with the opposing defense knowing this guy's a baller.
Yeah.
And then he keeps doing it.
He has 162
so
yards.
how?
I mean, some of that scheme, you can do things schematically where it's they can't just take him away. And part of it's just the savvy player he is. Cooper Kupp talked about this after the game. But it's because he's been that guy. Cooper Kupp is one of the few guys walking this earth that knows the feeling of what Jackson-Smith and Jigba's doing this year. He's had this second most productive receiving season of all time. So. And it is teams will try to take you away, but the great receivers, and Jackson-Smith and Jigba is looking like a great receiver. They figure out ways to still get open. Yeah. And it does help that you have a credible threat in the run game. I know it hasn't been as productive as they want, but they're 8th in the league in attempts. Teams have to respect that. Cooper Kupp is still a real threat. The tight ends are threats. Horton is a downfield threat. So it's you can't just, as good as JSN is, the way this offense is schemed and the way guys are playing around him, you can't just say, hey,
sell
we're gonna,
out.
But also, he's making catches in traffic because Sam Darnold's super accurate and they trust each other. So, some of those balls, he's not wide open, but he's just putting it in a place that only Jackson-Smith and Jigba can catch it.
Yeah, I love those two are kind of baffling, and I know we've talked about this before, but when we were in one of the production meetings, Michael Bennett was JSN up there. He's like, so you're not that big and you're not that fast. What makes you? And that's exactly what I was thinking too.
True,
you got two guys like that, him and Cooper Kupp, that they're not these statuesque,
Yeah, they're not Julio Jones,
burners.
DK Metcalf, the guys. You look at certain receivers, it's well, no kidding, he's good. He runs a 4.3 and he's 230.
Yeah.
And that's not JSN, but at every level. I mean, you go back to his high school days playing the highest level of Texas football to Ohio State, the highest level of college football you can play, and he just lights people up.
Yeah.
He's just got that savvy, smooth route running, and just, I mean, he's not slow. I think he's the fastest ball carrier in the NFL last week on that deep ball, but he's, he's just a guy that gets it done.
He's faster on the football field than testing. He's just a baller.
Yeah.
Is Drake Thomas the guy?
I mean, it sure looked like it. I don't know how much that was matchup based or just that he's become the guy, but it went from, Tyrese Knight start the year to splitting some reps, and then 3 weeks ago Drake Thomas started, but they split it pretty evenly. He was almost an every down player in the last game. So, yeah, I mean, he's looking like he's taken that role and grabbed it, and it's just another guy like we talked about Kobe Bryant last year. We talked about Josh Jobe. Like, they want guys, even if you're buried on the depth chart or even on the practice squad, like, you've got a chance to earn it, and he's a guy who's
another undersized guy too.
Although he tossed a tackle there. Did you see the end zone angle on that sack? Like, Leo said they went nuts watching that in the meeting room on Monday because he's not. You don't think of him as a power guy. I think they list him at 228, and he grabbed that tackle.
He ain't 228.
Grabbed that tackle with two hands and just tossed him aside.
Our final thoughts question. We have a little over a minute here, so think of your answer now. It's going to be what completes the picture for you for Seattle. This is inspired by the Mariners bullpen being nails in the postseason, and I think it's changing the way people have talked about the Mariners in the postseason, being like, I didn't. Now that I know they have that, so I want you to take that kind of approach when you're looking at the Seahawks. What would be something you could see Monday night that you think might change a perception? Seahawks already, they're a good team. They got a lot of hype, but what suddenly turns them into a more complete team? We'll go John, Wyman, Bump.
I'm going to take the easy one then. Run the ball. If you look at all things this team has done well, they've been so good. Their defense has been good all over the place. Darnold looks like a MVP candidate if this team keeps winning. If they can go out and run on a good defense, maybe they rush for 140 yards or something. I mean, that's to me the missing piece of they do almost everything at an elite level right now. Their special teams are great. You start getting that run game going, and they could be really dangerous.
You guys can repeat if it's that important.
I took the easy one.
Something tells me it might be.
Well, that's it.
If that's what if we have 3 analysts sitting here going, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. I'll just get out the way.
I'm the odd man out here.
I'm
going to say a slew of takeaways.
Yeah.
That would, to me, I think that's when a team is playing together, and you can, maybe play some hunches, take some shots, or, just the hustle and just being comfortable in the defense. And, I know it's harder than it looks, but like I was talking about earlier, like just turn the play back inside, please. That's the one thing that just is my pet peeve. But
I'm sorry.
I think once that starts to happen, they'll start taking the ball.
Random. How do you spell slew?
Slew. S-L-O-U-G-H.
Yeah. English is dumb.
Yeah. We could do a whole show. We could do a whole show on. Yeah.
That'll be our next show. Read John's work, Seahawks.com, with a recap of the game and lots of takeaways. Wyman obviously on the call with Raible. This is a Monday night game. Bump is on pre and post. As a reminder, it's a 7 p.m. kickoff. A little bit later, Seahawks Texans Monday night.
Hawks Live. Touchdown! Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks safety Ty Okada.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Do you need a new roof? Then visit 3treeroofing.com to get $500 off your roofing project by scheduling a free estimate. 3Tree Roofing's certified team builds a custom plan for your home using top-tier materials with industry-leading warranties. All of their install crews are factory certified to ensure that your roof can handle any weather Seattle can throw our way. Don't wait until leaks turn into expensive damage this rainy season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today and secure your $500 discount. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Hey Mariner fans, Rick Riz here. Steel deals are happening now, from instant savings on select power tools to free battery offers on some of Steel's most popular battery sets. You can enjoy great deals and do it all with Steel. Save now on zero-turn mowers, blowers, chainsaws, battery packs, and more. Steel is the preferred handheld outdoor power equipment provider of the Seattle Mariners. For more details, visit your local Steel dealer or click steelusa.com. Steel, trusted by the pros.
Ryan Rowland-Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The MBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin